And we are live. Roll up, everybody gather, come and join. One man went to mow, the session has started. So that thing that we do round about 10 o'clock, we're doing it round about 10 o'clock again. That a gathering that we have. So gather, come and join me. Let's gather together. That session that we usually congregate to talk all matters Nigeria, that session has now commenced and your presence is especially required. RSVP to you, Responde Civil Play. That is actually what RSVP means. That bolded Doyo laughing man that talks in a funny voice, he is in session again. One man went to mow, the eagle has landed.
Water, only water, water, only water, where they see ma. Water, 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 water. Only water, where they see ma. Hapa o naido. Hapa o naido. Hapa you don't come o. You dada. Hapa o naido. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù yé o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Ilé sọ́díyà kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ lẹ́mù rẹ̀ o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Bobby master kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ lẹ́mù rẹ̀ o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Chifu Failati kẹ̀kẹ́ rẹ̀ lẹ́mù rẹ̀ o. Oro kẹ̀kẹ́. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dé. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dòde. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ ẹlẹ́mù dòde ó jàre o. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ ẹlẹ́mù dòde. Eruku lẹ̀lẹ̀ Ghana ti dé ẹgbẹ́ bọ́dì o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹ̀yẹ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Odúyẹ̀lá ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Petro Sọ́dámẹ̀ ẹ̀yẹ o ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ Petro Sọ́dúnkẹ́ ẹ̀yẹ rẹ̀ ó dìle o. Ọmọ ẹlẹ́yẹ ẹlẹ́kọ̀ ọ̀run mú ìní o. Ìgbàlà tí àkùkọ ọ̀run mẹ́kọ̀. Ikú kò ní ríwà gbéṣe o.
And there we are, Iku Koniri Wagbeche, the care guides. So powerful prayers, as I often say. So Iku Koni Riwagbeche, as guys, I bring you this. Why Yoruba group won't beg Buhari to release Sunday Igboho. Afenifere now taking the opposite direction of the Igbo elders that we saw. Knees dropped in Aso Rock, pleading for their own son. But no, alas, not the Yoruba way. Why Yoruba group won't beg Buhari to release Sunday Igboho, a headline attributed to Afenifere. So quite why they would not beg for Sunday Igboho, we'll find out in due course. This we would find out in due course as well. Department of State Services officer Samson Enweruzo unveiled as notorious for forcing false confession out of IPOB suspects, involvement in illegal raids, arrests, extrajudicial killings in the southeast. So as often the case, it is usually their own that they send after their own. And in this instance, of course, you don't get more Igbo than this fella who now weighs against the Igbo space because it's a functionary of the state. Again, Department of State Services officer Samson Enweruzo unveiled as notorious for forcing false confession out of IPOB suspects, involvement in illegal raids, arrests, extrajudicial killings in the southeast. So quite why that is, we'll find out in due course. Nollywood stars converge to endorse Tinubu 2023 presidency. So, as I said yesterday, President-elect, essentially, this is the election taking place, by the way, ladies and gentlemen. Make no mistake about having any thoughts towards February 2023, because essentially now it's near on fait accompli, and we have a president already. Nollywood stars converge to endorse Tinubu 2023 presidency. So who quite those stars are, we'll find out in due course. So now this is now alarming, and I'm bringing you this story essentially off the back of that little skirmish that happened with X0 and some members. I don't like to call people panelists because it's an open microphone session, but contributors I will call them. So X0 and other contributors yesterday had a set two, and that set two was predicated upon a statement made by X0 that the Lagos state government moved against the Igbos, especially in markets belonging to his family. So that led to a bit of a set too. And this headline now is in that direction. Residents cry out as houses in Festac Phase 2 are demolished by the government. So now, where is the Igbo angle to this, you would ask? But there's a little clip that I'm going to play when I'm just reading out this narrative or at some point that will tell you that there's an Igbo angle, at least a perceived Igbo angle to it. But Tari, as you just hold on to the headline, residents cry out as houses in Festac Phase 2 are demolished by the government. So we find out exactly what's led to all that. So we'll find out Twitter has agreed to all federal government conditions. So that is Festus Kiyamo speaking. So we'll find out quite what that is all about as well. But we may not land on that story, but this story especially we will land on. Court acquits 19 accused of treason after 15 years in detention. There's an Igbo angle to this one as well. But with this one, I am not going to be reading anything out, but I'll be playing you a video clip instead. So you see the men and their lawyers narrate their own story. But before we go to anything, we come in through via what is now the traditional quarters, another Python dance.
IPOB, Omeriwo Nindizu, Boliroya, Abakare, Mama Daura, Ulapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, now Python dance 3. Ulapuri Meri Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una bogi meri nande. Nande go onye du IPOB. O meri wone nizu ngiro ya. Abakare mamanda ora. Una bogi meri nande. Nande win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una bogi meri nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una bogi meri nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una bogi meri nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2. Na Python dance 3. Una bogi meri nandi. Nandi win the war. Python dance 1, Python dance 2, and Python dance 3. Una bogi meri nandi.
And there we are. Namudete win a war. Python dance, Python dance. Namudete win a war. Àwọn Okoro from Namudete win a war from the eastern quarters to this. Why Yoruba group won't beg Buhari to release Sunday Igboho? Afenifere speaking to the space. Yoruba socio-political organization Afenifere has said there is no basis to appeal to the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari to release Yoruba Nation agitator and activist Sunday Adeyemo, also known as Sunday Igboho. Afenifere also called on the federal government to obey the order of the Oyo State High Court sitting in Ibadan, which awarded 20 million naira against the Department of State Services for damaging Igboho's house during a midnight raid on July the 1st, 2021. It stated this whilst reacting to the recent visit by some Igbo leaders to the president at the State House to request the release of the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi KANU. The Igbo leaders, under the aegis of the highly respected Igbo greats, had appealed to the president to ensure KANU's release. Members of the delegation led by a former minister of aviation, 93-year-old Mbazulike Amechi, were former governor of Anambra State, Chukwu Emeka Ezeafe, Bishop Sunday Onoha of the Methodist Church, former president of Igbo Social Cultural Group, Aka Ikenga, Godi Uwazurike, and Tagbo Amechi. Buhari had, while responding to the Igbo leaders in a statement by the special advisor to the president on media and publicity, Femi Adesina, said the unconditional release of the IPOB leader, who is currently standing trial, runs contrary to the doctrines of separation of power between the executive and the judiciary. Igboho, who was arrested by the Republic of Benin authorities at Cotonou Airport on July the 19th, 2021, has been in a detention facility in the neighboring country. But Afenifere said it had no reason to beg the president to release Igboho because the agitator did not commit any offense whatsoever. We do not have to beg the president to release Sunday Igboho. Sunday Igboho did not commit any offense whatsoever. That is our position. Those who went to invade his house were terrorists in Nigerian security uniform, and they have no right whatsoever, and that has been tested in a court of competence jurisdiction. Igboho has been absolved, and the government was visited with a 20 billion naira worth of damages, the group said. General Secretary of Afenifere, Shola Ebishini, said there is no basis for the Yoruba people to beg the federal government to release Sunday Igboho. In spite of the impunity of the Buhari government, we insist that Nigeria shall not be governed except by the rule of law. The deep night invasion of Sunday Igboho's house with the aim of killing him, which resulted in killing of two of his companions and wanton destruction of his property, is already adjudged by a court of competence jurisdiction as a most barbaric act of state terrorism, with the sum of 20 billion naira in damages. Afenifere also said there was no charge of criminal conduct against Igboho in any court. So a totally different narrative you have to understand. Sunday Igboho's narrative and Nnamdi Kanu, because too often and for political expediency, people try to merge the narrative together. It's a totally different narrative. Sunday Igboho was engaged in a non-violent but determined agitation to secede the Yoruba people out of the Nigerian space, because he concluded, and the Yoruba people empathized with that conclusion, that the Yorubas are held in subservience in land that is their own. So essentially, slave in your own land essentially is the narrative that is now being foisted on the Yoruba people. And that this guy said, through no violent means, but through public social pressure, we will seek to secede. And he went about that holding rallies after rallies in Yoruba land, in all of the key Yoruba states and Yoruba cities, to gauge the tempo of the people and to sensitize them to the narrative. And it was drawing sufficient enough crowd. And in no instance did I ever hear of a violent occurrence in any of those rallies that Igboho was holding. He went to great length to say that he's not engaged in military or armed conflict with the state. He is just using social and political pressure to agitate for what essentially the Yoruba people want. That is the Sunday Igboho narrative. He has never been arrested, never mind being charged to court. No charge was levied against him. So then that move on the 1st of July to go and machine gun his home and kill all living things that they could was an act of state terrorism. That is the Igboho narrative. The Nnamdi Kanu narrative, a totally different narrative. It has a 50,000 man strong armed militia, which he called the Eastern Security Network. He promotes violence routinely and passionately with vein popping vigor. He chants for blood every single day on his platform. So, a totally different narrative, an armed conflict in the East, and a pacifistic but determined political movement in the West. Nnamdi Kanu charged to court. Sunday Igboho not charged to court. Nnamdi Kanu has charges leveled against him. Nnamdi Kanu has no, Sunday Igboho has. So it's a totally different narrative. So why then should the Yorubas follow the path? Because I can understand why the Easterners will follow the path that they have followed, but the narrative of Sunday Igboho is essentially fundamentally different from the narrative of the Eastern Quarter. So, to your way, and to their way, their way. So that is essentially what Afenifere is saying to the Eastern Quarters. So we press on. Department of State Services Officer Samson N. Weruzo, unveiled as notorious for forcing false confession out of IPOB suspects, involvement in illegal raids, arrest, extrajudicial killings in the southeast. An operative of Nigeria's secret police, the Department of State Services, identified as Samson Weruzo, is behind some of the extrajudicial killings and brutalization of people in the southeast in the name of finding Biafran agitators, correspondents have learned. Weruzo, who hails from Imo, correspondents for the land, was involved in the invasion of the home of one Chuks, Egwa and the illegal arrest and torture of four of his Egwatu's siblings. Correspondents had reported how secret operations suspected to be targeted at eliminating Igbo youths started on Monday, the 8th of November 2021, when security agents invaded the house of Egwatu at Asha Street, Topland, Amechi Road, Enugu State, by 5 p.m. with the aim of taking him away secretly for elimination without trace. A civil society group, the International Solidarity for Peace and Human Rights Initiative, had drawn attention to the illegal raid in a letter to the Executive Secretary, National Human Rights Commission, dated the 10th of November 2021. The group had also sent copies of the letter to the Inspector General of Police, the Director of the Department of State Services, Amnesty International, and other organizations, detailing how four siblings of Egwatu, including a minor, were arrested when the security operatives could not find him. According to Inter-Society, on failing to arrest Igboho, the security operatives took away four of his siblings, claiming they were DSS operatives in Enugu and that Igboho should report to the agency's office to secure the release of his siblings. Names of the arrested/abducted siblings of Igboho still to be held are still to be held by the claimed men of DSS in Enugu include Egwatu Chukwabuka, male 20, Arubube Hosanna, male 18, Egwatu Stephen, male 12, Idara Godwin, female 22. The group said a top source in the Department of State Services has, however, identified Enweruzo as supporting extrajudicial killings in the southeast and notorious for forcing false confession out of persons suspected to be members of the pro-Biafra group, Indigenous People of Biafra, or its militant wing, Eastern Security Network. Correspondents learned that Enweruzo studied at Government College Owerri and the Federal University of Technology, also in Owerri, the Imo State capital. He is supporting the extrajudicial killing of Igbo youths, the source said. He forces any youth he arrests to accept being a member of ESN, and then he brutalizes them. He is currently in Enugu with his team. He came on a special duty to the east. He is confirmed to be involved in raiding Chuks Egwatu in Enugu and torturing his siblings. He slaughtered tens of youths in Anambra this year, went to Imo State and did the same this year. Then he came to Enugu and has killed 4 youths extrajudicially, tortured the siblings of Igboho such that all of them went home with scars on their body. Inter-Society had, in its petition signed by its president Osmond Ugwu, demanded the immediate unconditional release of Igboho Chukwabuka, minor Egwatu Stephen, Erua Bube Hosanna, and Miss Idara Godwin. It had also demanded adequate monetary compensation for them, adding that relevant authorities should apologize to them in national newspapers for the violation of their fundamental human rights. We call on DSS and police in Enugu State to ensure that the perpetrators of the act of invading the house of Mr. Igboho by 5 a.m. be treated as kidnappers, irrespective of the agency they represent, and be prosecuted as such. The petition had also noted. So there you are. It is just the brutality of it. God, only goodness knows how many people has been disappeared from that country since 2015 till date. Nollywood stars converge to endorse Tinubu 2023 presidency. Some Nollywood actors have been found rooting for the purported 2023 presidential ambition of former Lagos State Governor Bola Tinubu. Though he has not yet officially declared his intention, reports abound of Mr. Tinubu's subterranean moves to emerge Nigeria's president at the next general election. Support groups and political jobbers have thus been jostling to have a slice of the action. In a video trending on social media, the likes of Mr. Ibu, Harry B. Anyawu, and other prominent Nollywood stars were seen in a meeting-like setting bannered southwest stands for Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The veteran actor Mr. Ibu was seen addressing the audience and appreciating a yet-to-be-identified individual, saying, Oga, make God bless you, make God keep you. So the reason for which we came here, make person no change, he said before going completely inaudible, deliberately by whispering till the end of his brief speech. Another actor, Harry, presented his own speech in the form of a rap. I don't hustle, I don't wakataya, I don't suffer defeat searching for a better life, and waiting man go eat. We still dey hustle with smile, and dey hustle for show, but na only God know the truth and the men wey go blow. On November the 3rd, a select group of skit makers visited Vice President Yemi Osinbajo at the State House. Comedians such as Taoma and Josh Too Funny, it's just the ridiculous names that these people have, but there you are, that is the space. Josh Too Funny, apparently. Woli Agba, Mr. Whatever it is, Hyena or something, and others who attended the Jaw were seriously criticized online by young Nigerians who believed they sold out to politicians who are seeking to manipulate their influence to curry support for their political interest in 2023 elections. Similarly, Nigerians have now taken to social media to cast flags against the Nollywood stars' recent gathering. Many young Nigerians are unhappy with the ruling government over what they describe as unfriendly economic policies and unabating brutality against youth by the police and other security forces. So there you are, an anti-people government only in Nigeria. So this now a story that comes off the back of the some of the conversations we had yesterday. Residents cry out as houses in Festac Phase 2. Let me see. Oh yes, I'll make this the last story. So we'll make this the last story, and then we'll play a clip after I've read out the brief description. Residents cry out as house in Festac Phase 2 are demolished by the government. So let's have a look. Some homeowners in Festac Phase, let me just scroll up a bit, sorry. Some homeowners in Festac Phase 2 woke up to their houses being demolished on Sunday morning, November the 28th. This comes one day after an article announced that the Federal Housing Authority will soon begin mass demolition of buildings without approval in Festac Town. Facebook user Angel Nkiru took to her page to share photos of houses that had been brought down. She wrote, "Got a bad news this morning. I am there and I am crying because I have friends who have houses there. Festac Phase 2, Abu Lodo Estate under Amuwo Odofin local government under demolition by the FHA. They started since 5 a.m. Okay, so this is the Igbo angle now. They started since 5 a.m. See beautiful Igbo people's houses. FHA said the land is not approved. I am watching people's houses being destroyed and it is painful. Ego umu Igbo aguago. This first yellow building belongs to my Oga at Aspamda. Make I not mention the name because it's popular. So I'll post a link to the article because it doesn't do you justice just to hear me read it or to hear or even watch the video that I'm about to to play to you now. But really, if you and don't necessarily bother to read the article, but just scroll through to look at the images of these houses being destroyed, and you will shed a tear. You will shed a tear. But then let me play you now. Oh yeah, two clips to play you. So let me play you the clip first of the story that we've not yet brought. The Igbo 19 that were jailed for 15 years. So that may not, I don't think I brought you that headline, but that is one of the stories that we are doing. There were 19 Igbo chaps that were arrested for being, for treason. They were arrested and convicted for treason 15 years ago. So they were found not guilty now. But then, of course, they were arrested as... Anyway, hear their own words, because this alarmed me somewhat. One of our contributors sent in this story, and I felt obliged to share it with you. But watch this, quite alarming.
The 19 accused persons shed tears of joy as the court acquitted them of treason and terrorism charges and ordered their release after 15 years in detention.
The judgment favored me. I give God all the glory for what he has done in my life today. Over 15 years being in prison, it's not easy. But today I'm liberated and free.
The trial judge, Justice Nicholas Owebo, says the prosecutors failed to establish proof for treason and terrorism charges against the 19 accused persons.
The judge delivered a well-considered judgment, exhaustively evaluated the facts, and came to the conclusion that there was no iota, there was no scintilla, there was no modicum of evidence adduced by the prosecution against the defendants. And what is worrisome is that it took more than 14 years to come to this conclusion, and that brings to fore one of the defects in our criminal justice administration. This is a case in which people wasted their youthful years. This is a case in which the state subjected this gentleman to trial for levying war against the federation. And at the end of the day, they could neither produce arms, they could neither produce ammunition, they couldn't even tender the so-called uniform.
The movement of the actualization of the sovereign state of Biafra is a secessionist group in Nigeria associated with Igbo nationalism, which supports the creation of an independent state of Biafra from Nigeria. Such campaigns are forbidden in Nigeria. Some of the accused persons say they were arrested in 2007 without any evidence of treason and terrorism.
I feel to break down heaven, to go and meet God, to glorify Him. I'm so grateful that God have done it for me. Actually, I was been suffering for what I did not know anything about.
I'm a businessman. In my shop, I have two stores, which I left unlocked and went away early in the morning. They picked me up and took me to the police station. I told my neighbors that I'm coming back in next to 1 hour. This is next to 1 hour. 15 years, I left my shop unlocked. I don't know anything. Today, I regain my freedom. To God be the glory. None of us died. Oh, I give God the glory.
Jemima Boloko, Arise.
So there you are. So it's quite alarming and quite disturbing and very Nigerian what we just saw there. Just the testimony of that last guy that spoke is just the one that chills. They are all chilling, but that one particularly chills. So there is that chap. He, about his business for the day, was suddenly picked up by people who purport to be security agents. So confident was he in his innocence that he told people that, oh, I'll be back in an hour. I'll just go sort this out. He left his shop unlocked. So confident was he that when you haven't done anything now, you'll be confident. 15 years later, that 1 hour, but he gives God the glory. So there it is. That is the Nigerian state. And we can't even blame Buhari. I'm not quite sure if that was Obasanjo or Yar'Adua or Goodluck Jonathan, but that was 2007. Just walking the streets, swept up, and 15 years later, they say, well, you didn't do it after all. So who accounts for those 15 years? The damages to his family. But by the way, they didn't look, they look quite healthy to me. That surprised me somewhat because I was expecting them to look somewhat gaunt and, crestfallen and sunken-cheeked. But they looked quite rosy and well-fed. I don't know if, I don't know the system anyway, but, it's just, that's Nigeria though. That is Nigeria. You walk the streets at your peril, but then you stay in your own home too at your peril. That is Nigeria. Nigeria is essentially at your peril. So at your peril, let me now bring you that clip now of those houses being demolished.
Again, hey. Huh?
So that was the clip, but it doesn't do justice unless you scroll through the article as well. So you see how beautiful those houses are, and then you see them then in rubble. Then you get the full effect of that. Charlie Boy, I see you. Ajanle Koko, I see you. UK, I see you. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining. Ajanle Koko, let me come to you first, and let me take you straight away to the Igbo 19. Are you there, Ajanle Koko? Okay, I don't think we have a. Okay, we do have Adale Koko. Yes, let me take you to the Igbo 19. 2007, this guy was tapped on the shoulder to say, and they showed him identity to say you are a suspect, and he laughed. He said, "Oh, just to look out for my shop. I'll be back within an hour." 15 years later, what are you making of that?
Um, how are you, one man, UK, and Charles? I hope everybody okay today.
Yeah, well, good.
Yes, thank you, Avijali Koko.
Yes, thank you.
All right. That is Nigerian state injustice. And I don't know what to say. You know, when I watched that clip,
To say it is unfair is to underplay it. That is inhumane.
that tells me and everybody that that country is not a safe place. We are just seeing this guy's incident because I think they have lawyers that took up their case and fought for them at the law court. There are several people in that country that have been picked up on the street, innocent people that were just going on their own, maybe from their job or from the school. Police will just pick them up and take them to jail, and they'll be there in detention for several years. That is a society that is not safe. That is a country that is not safe. I mean, a lawless society, the people in charge of law or people to implement, the law are the people that violate the law the most. So when we tell people or some people that Nigeria is not a safe place, this is an evidence of it. People that have committed nothing, innocent people. I mean, listen to that guy that spoke last. He was at his job. They just came and picked him up, and with confidence, like you said, say, oh, telling his neighbor, I'll be there, I'll be back in an hour. And in an hour, took him 15 years to come back. What would have happened to the wife or the family during that period of time that they have kept him in detention? What would have happened to his business? What is that guy going to fall back on now? It is just, this is what happened in that country every day. And when you see some people standing up and said, let us fight for our right, or let us stop this, let us not allow this to happen, what injustice against one to be seen as injustice against everybody. But the people of that country, our people don't understand it. When they see injustice committed against one of them, others will just walk away or feel unconcerned, not knowing that it could happen to you. The same way, the same injustice could be visited on you by these unlawless people in uniform, unlawless people in position of power.
Sorry, Charles. I think you wanted to come in, but Charles, let me say this first. Adale Koko, when I hear something like that, I cannot help in instances but weigh myself in that situation, and I don't think my chances of survival are very high because I don't think I am built for that sort of treatment. God, you guys said I'll be back in an hour. You know, you only say that, don't you? When you know that you've done nothing wrong, you pay your bills, you pay your dues, you're upstanding, you're probably a leader in your church, the society respects you, and some person is telling you XYZ. So you have the confidence to say, I'll be back in an hour. I know an hour can seem long at times, but not 15 years. But Charles, you wanted to say?
Yeah. The reason thing that disturbed me is that all these people were Igbo people arrested.
Mm.
And
Well, they were arrested for Mossad. So who else would they be? Who else would they be apart from it? It was
but that
Mossad.
disturbed me. And all them like destroyed the buildings in fact that were Igbo people. See, those two things disturbed me. Those two things. It's the reason. See, this is the reason why it says one. We have this reason. You start see this story is coming out. You see. More people
do you go looking for those things to be disturbed by them?
No, I'm just saying, woman. Nigeria can start thinking and realizing this story is happening to so many people. They'll realize it. Nigeria is discriminating against one tribe. It's not right. The government should stop doing that.
All right, we'll get to that space in a moment. But thank you. So back to Ajanle Koko.
One man, we have had several stories. In Panti, that Panti in Lagos, there are several people that are there in detention of those criminal police people that kept innocent people there for years. And they knew that they are innocent people. These are not people that have not committed anything, but we've just picked them up and put them there in an effort to extort money from their family, in an effort to use them as cover-up for some criminals that they work in alliance with. These criminal police people work in alliance with criminals, with armed robbers. Several cases, several times, they will use some innocent people, take them to court in the name of another criminal, and then take judgment and then kill that person. It has happened several times. But we have to thank God for these people that God Almighty was with them.
Ajanle Koko, let me pause you there, because those guys, they were saying, and I have to be careful about my wordings in this one, so I'm not blasphemous. But so I don't blaspheme rather. But those guys, they were thanking God, and you also thank God on their behalf. But those guys they are innocent, and they were in prison for 15 years. So I mean, why did that happen? That's the thing. And we are thanking God.
Do you know why they are thanking God? Because during this period of their incarceration, 15 years, they saw people like them in detention that have been there for several years. They have possibly seen people that died in detention that have committed nothing, that committed no offense. They must have seen a lot of things, a lot of people being killed extrajudicially by police while in detention. And that is why they are thanking God that, oh, Almighty, that I can come out from this detention. I give thanks to God because they still have their life. They came back out alive. They didn't die there. They have went through a lot in that detention. That's why they are thanking God. And who is going to fight for compensation for them? Because this guy deserves to be compensated for unlawful detention for 15 years. This is a case that should be taken up against the state, against the criminal police, useless police force. They call them force. They are not meant to protect people, but to kill people and take people through trauma and traumatize people and put innocent people in detention unlawfully. So somebody has to fight for compensation for these guys, for loss that they have incurred, for pains and suffering that they went through for 15 years. I bet you some of them that left children behind might not even recognize their child now as they are coming out, because their child will have grown up and, you know, be an adult. It is, I mean,
imagine somebody that left a 13, 14-year-old son, daughter amongst those people.
Daughter.
And then it comes back to meet a nearly 30-year-old person calling him daddy.
And imagine, maybe some of them might have even, you know, mother, while in detention, lost their mother, and they won't allow them to go and put, give the right, the last right, or what did they say, to the mother.
And the marriages that would have collapsed, the wife that would have run off with the best friend, the boyfriend, the XYZ, the houses that would have been lost, the business that would have collapsed, all of the assets gone, everything sold to try and rescue them. Yeah. Lives destroyed. Just walking on the streets, nothing. That was their only crime. They were walking on the streets in a place called Nigeria. That is the crime.
It could happen to you. It could happen to me.
This is what I'm saying. Sometimes you wait against yourself, don't you?
I mean, it could happen to anybody. It could happen to your child.
They charged them with treason. That is one of the highest crimes now.
They wanted to kill them.
It's a death penalty thing, isn't it?
It's a death penalty.
And we are not talking Buhari either. 2007. So whoever was in situation then. So this thing goes
Nigerian state.
Yeah.
That is how Nigerian state commit murder against their citizen. Treason. People that have not carried gun to take over government forcefully. People that have not killed anybody in the process of taking over government, and they are charging them for treason. They wanted to waste them. They wanted to kill them.
You know, it's the same narrative that is going on now. What they just do essentially is they go into the eastern space and they look at the young, abled guy, and they'll tell you that he's CSN.
The IPOB.
Yes, if you are between the ages of 18 and 35 in the East and you are male, you are at risk.
You are at risk. You are at risk. Imagine you are living in such society, in such a society where you are not safe, where you have to be watching your back, where when you step out from your house, you just give yourself to God. Oh God, let me go back and come in. Your safety is not guaranteed. This is one of the reasons I keep saying that Nigeria is not a safe place, because you don't know what can happen to you at any time. And that will happen, and it will happen to you, and will just happen to you like that, and nothing will happen.
You know, one thing that their lawyer said, one of their lawyers said, it really struck me. He said their youthful years are gone. And that is it. That is life right there. Those 15 years, those your prime years. Let's say from the age of 23 to round about, let's even say 25 to late 30s, early 40s. Those are your prime years now. Those are your go-get-it years. So they've taken away their go-get-it years, and then they've tossed them back into society to then do. It's just so sad.
It's very sad, one man. I can't. When I watch it, I said, "Oh my God, I don't know if I were the one that this happened to. How would I have coped with it?" Look, Nigeria is described as #1 country by international body as a country with most disappeared people, a country where people will just disappeared and you just don't know what happened to them. Number one in the world. Number one country with most disappeared people. People will just vanish and that's it. And you want to tell me that that is a safe country? Somebody like Mike and some other guys, oh, Nigeria is safe, or that Igbo, you come and contribute your own quota, come and do your own, don't just be talking, you are living in this, you are talking as if this thing. What does this video tell us? It's a very unsafe country. What has this guy done? Nothing. And the court
have found that, but then that also speaks to the judicial system, because there was sufficient enough to know that these guys had not committed anything. At least there would have been presentations in court. I'm assuming they would have been taken to court in the course of those 15 years, and there was sufficient. Why did it take 15 years for the court to let these people go?
I'm sure that they weren't taken to court. They were kept in detention until when lawyer came in after several years. Maybe they didn't have no lawyer to fight for them, or maybe they had lawyer fighting for them. You know the way they do? They be suspending, or what do they call it? They be adjourning the case, adjourning upon adjourning, or sometimes they won't bring them to court in an effort to adjourn it. And you know, several useless cases they have at the court, years upon years of cases that the court have to attend to. They don't have enough court to handle.
Do you think the judge should be punished? Do you think the judge should be punished for this?
Well, I wouldn't say that the judge should be punished, but the judge has done his own and set them free. But the process, what took them 15 years before securing their release, is what we have to investigate. And those people I want to hold responsible are the Attorney General of the state where they were kept, and the police.
It's a federal matter, though. If it was the DSS,
it's a federal. Okay, it's a federal matter.
But the other thing that struck me is that these chaps that just swept them up on the streets, they in every likelihood would have gone on to live a full life in that 16 years. Just that action they took one day destroyed 19 lives, but there's a likelihood that they would have gone on to live a full life, gotten married, built houses, had children,
yes.
Cried, laughed, be happy, be sad, all of this. They would have lived a full life, but just one action they took on one day just to pad out the cells. Their cells were empty and they needed to populate it, and they just swept people up.
Yes. So, well, man, it is really, really sad. It's really sad.
It makes you lose hope.
Man, I'm telling you, one man, that place is not a safe place. There's nothing anybody can tell me. There's nothing anybody can convince me about that place that will make me feel, yes, it's not a safe place. This is one of the reasons it's not a safe place. Health-wise, if you fall sick, how could help get to you? That's another way to look at it. You fall sick and you need an emergency, you cannot get emergency. And if they rush you to emergency, sometimes you cannot even get oxygen, just oxygen to save you. They don't have it. So there are a lot of things that is wrong in that country. But some of our people, they don't understand it when you are telling them that, look, what is going on in that country? It's barbaric. This is not a country that is fit for any human being to live in. It's not. I mean, look at human beings. Look at the way they treated human beings. For 15 years, they kept them away in incarceration for 15 years. Look, let me tell you, people, they have a law in Nigeria where the magistrate, or what do you call it? The duty of the magistrate, one of the duties, rather, is to check on every police station every week, maybe 1 week or every month, to look at those that are kept in detention and know why they were kept there, and make sure that their cases are attended to, so that they won't keep long or be kept in detention perpetually by police. But are they really doing their job? Or what is the problem if they don't do their job? What is the problem why they are not doing their job? It's barbaric over there. It's barbaric.
All right, thank you, Ajane Koko. Let's hear from Alexander, who joins us. The Eastern 19. What are you making of it? These chaps, they say be upright in society. They are upright in society. Businessmen, most of them, just picked up on the streets, and 15 years later, they are saying, "No, sorry, you didn't do it." What are you making of that?
Brother Alessandra, how are you, sir?
Oh, sorry, did I mute you? No, you mute. Oh, sorry. Yeah, go on. Yeah.
Yeah, Aja. Good evening, my brother. How are you? Charles, UK, one man. How are you guys doing? I don't know the last person on the show.
Yeah, you covered everybody. Yeah.
It saddens me to think that a person is incarcerated for 15 years for a crime he never committed. I've never heard. It's unheard of. It's abominable. It's I don't know. Are we human beings or are we animals? You know, is Nnamdi's expression of the zoo does it succinctly describe the country we come from? To be incarcerated, and like Charles said, and rightly so, it looks like the people that were targeted were mainly Igbos. You know, this is unfair. This is, and there should be by law compensated for being in jail for 15 years without committing any crime. They should be compensated, but we know how that goes. That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. It breaks my heart. It really does. I feel so sad, and this is why Igbos complain all the time that we're marginalized, we're stereotyped, we are treated unfairly. Isn't this a good example of that assertion? It's totally out of order. It breaks my heart.
And the charge is so specific as well, Alexander. They are charging them for treason, which would then suggest that they had reason and intelligence to move. But then, of course, 15 years later, we see that they had absolutely nothing. So just essentially walking on the streets in the East was sufficient enough. They were looking for Mossad members. These were young Igbo people, so they just picked them up. That's essentially what happened.
And the sad reality is that nothing is going to transpire thereafter. I mean, they've been set free. Nothing's going to happen. It's just the story's just going to die natural death. It's just, you know, life just begins again. I don't know. I'm at the verge of denouncing Nigeria as a country that I have any association with, because this is not a sane society.
Is the way Nigeria is it sustainable? Is there a future to this?
Yes, there is.
As the world continues to civilize. Yeah.
It's not. Look, and I'm sure Ja would totally disagree with me because he's a proponent of people going their separate ways. But that's never going to happen. Come on, let's talk like enlightened, educated people. That's not going to happen. And if it does happen, it's not going to happen the way we're going about it. You know, it's not going to happen anytime soon. I think yes, Nigeria is an artificial state. Yes, it was created for someone's personal aggrandizement. We understand all that, but at the end of the day, there's too much in foreign interest in Nigeria. It's a massively important place to want to just see deteriorate like that. It's not going to happen in a hurry. I'm sorry. It should. You know, I think we need to start fighting for, you know, financial independence as a state, you know, as a region, rather than actually, you know, balkanizing the country, for lack of a better word, the word I've heard a lot on your platform. And that's the way I see that. I mean, it's sad. I mean, thinking about it, I just lost my appetite. You know, it's sad. It's really sad.
I disagree.
There's one man there who's taking his vape.
I am here. Charles, of course, you would disagree. We know.
Because this two
Nigeria should break up now.
Evidence one man just said to the reason why Nigeria cannot fail. This is evidence. They're happening in Lagos and this targeting one tribe.
Charles, son, with due respect, Nigeria's already failed. It's a failed nation. A country like that, Ajali Koko tells you all the time. You know, I know the country when it was the pride of Africa, you know, where you go and you raise your head up high because you're a Nigerian citizen, where you can go to borrow the change in London and change 1 naira to 65p. You know, that's my generation. I've seen that. So.
Alexander, what this highlights is that nothing has changed in Nigeria. So that was 2007, the narrative of these guys. But if you transpose it from 2007 and superimpose it to today and now, the exact same story. They are still in the East, they are still sweeping up young men, and they are still falsely accusing them. Not a single thing has changed.
Yeah, I mean, that's sad. I don't know. That's so sad. I mean, I'm lost for words. Actually, it's very the way.
Can you see now the reason for the agitation, especially?
Yeah, I
in the
see.
East?
Of course, I can relate to it. I've always been able to relate to it. You know, but at the end of the day, you know, it's not as easy as just agitating for it. You have to go through a lot of process for it to happen. It's not going to happen like that, and not particularly the way we're going about it. I mean, if it breaks up, it won't be in my generation. It definitely won't be Charles's generation. And I probably have grandchildren the age of Charles. So yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's sad.
It probably will not break up, but it will have to reconfigure. Because I think even the people forcefully holding on to it, they've realized that it cannot, that it doesn't work. But what happens next is really what nobody is clear on yet.
Well, like I posted in Superchat earlier today, you know, when people talk about Babangida, you know how my stomach churns. The man is the architect of what we're going through. I mean, to a large degree. This annulment of the 1993 election triggered all this. The corruption level in Nigeria is unbelievable. I mean, if you know what people are going through in Nigeria today, people are suffering, and just imagine if they take up the subsidy. You know, that's the death of that nation as it is today. It still doesn't mean they're going to separate, because like someone said on your platform, we naturally revolve to something else. You know, we always have contingencies. If this happens, we'll do that. This happens, we'll do that. You know, it breaks my heart. I'm saddened by this news. I'm especially saddened by everything going on in Nigeria today, because it can only get worse. It can't get better. It can only get worse.
All right. We were looking for optimism from. Yeah, go on, Ajale Koko.
The more it gets worse, the more the more it is how do I say it? The more it's likely to break up. And why did I say this? Is because right now the nation is paying using almost her entire revenue to service debt. Payment of federal workers. Federal government could not pay, but they were borrowing money from central bank. That is totally against the norm of, financial management of a state. It's totally against it because already they have budgeted for worker salary and everything. But they were running in budget deficit. Since this government has came in, they've been running on government deficit. And they have been borrowing. This is not my own, this is not my own story. This is what the finance minister said about 3 days ago. That they've been borrowing from the central bank. And that if they don't stop that what do they call it? This subsidy, they won't be able to pay workers from next year. From the beginning of next year, they won't be able to pay workers. And what does that tell you? Nigeria is fastly sliding into a state of economic insolvency. And that is what is going to break up the country.
No,
the moment the federal cannot continue to dish out that money, that federal allocation to the unit, that is the end of the nation. The nation will break apart. The state will not be able to function, and that is the end of the state. It's going to break apart. That's the way I'm seeing it. And so they don't know.
Is that wishful thinking on your part? Is that wishful thinking?
You might look at it that maybe it's a wishful thinking,
more in hope than in expectation.
In practical. Look, the only thing that is keeping wait one man now. The only thing that is keeping that country together is the federal government disbursement, that monthly allocation. The moment they couldn't feed the state, they couldn't give them that allocation anymore. That is the end of the country. The nation will collapse financially, economically, and what I mean, there's going to be chaos, economic chaos. Yes, sir.
Venezuela collapsed financially. It didn't break up the country. The country might collapse financially, but we go back and renegotiate our loan terms on the international market. A smart economist will come and tell you how to revive that economy. Nigeria is too big a country, too rich a country to just go down the drain like that. I mean, some smart economists would draw plans to revitalize the economy, but the suffering will go on for a long, long time. And that is my fear. It's my fear. The country going into financial insolvency, that's possible. I can see that happening. But I can also see a very world-class economist in Nigeria making a plan, going back to the international market or community or financial institution to renegotiate terms and conditions of the loan that we owe. They can write loans up. There are ways and means we can revitalize the country. It's just that it trickles down over time. It's not going to be an instant thing. That's all it is.
Yes, but Nigeria's situation is complex. Looking at the way the country is structured, we are different nations in that country. We are not like Venezuela that, people that speak in one language and they have one culture, one tradition. We are different nations there. And when it comes to a situation when the federal government that is managed by incompetent people, particularly with one section of the country occupying all the strategic position and run the country into a state of insolvency, other part of the country will look at them that they are the one that failed the nation. They are not ready. They are not capable of running the nation. So let us split it apart.
Yes.
That is what, because this ideology is there now. The ideology of we want to go is there. That ideology will grow. We grow higher. And when it grow higher, it's going to be a serious threat to that unity of that country. So, and coupled with insecurity, Venezuela does not have insecurity. We have insecurity. We have economic problem. We have political problem. This problem has too enormous to be managed. They cannot manage it. And that is what is going to break it apart. They cannot manage it.
Nigeria is not looking like breaking apart, because if Nigeria was going to break apart, it would break apart, especially under this administration. And if it has not broken apart, even with all of this, even when they remove that petroleum subsidy, it will not break apart, because there's sufficient enough for it to have broken apart if it was ever going to break apart. So it will not break apart. Suffering and smiling, Fela Kuti has already told us the psyche of the Nigerian president.
Not anytime soon anyway.
But you just have to agree. The North is not the only person who wants Nigeria. You have to agree that with Nigeria to come, the North won't want Nigeria. The South is the one want Nigeria. That's a fact. So the North is the only reason Nigeria is one. That's a fact.
No, the North is not the only reason Nigeria is one. I can tell you that. If the East, if they wanted to leave Nigeria, they would leave. And if the Yoruba land, if they wanted to leave Nigeria, they would leave. You know, what sustains Nigeria is that there's not sufficient enough of people that want to live as a people. That is what sustains it. If the whole of the East, if they want to leave Nigeria, what will stop them? There's nothing that can stop them. Or the Yoruba land, there's nothing that can stop them. But there's not sufficient enough of them that do want that. It's just that the people that do want that, they make the loudest noise, and then you think that they speak for more than they do.
I disagree.
No, you do, but that's the fact anyway.
So, Mr. One Man, why is your government running away from a referendum if that's not the case?
Who is my government? Radio Biafra. Must you always do that? Must you always
the Nigerian government, my correction, the Nigerian government, if there's not enough people that want to break away from the Biafra land region, why is it that they don't want to hold this referendum?
Because they have no need to. Not because
the need here is that if they hold the referendum, this agitation will come to an end. Simple.
No, it will not. And if they hold the referendum, then that will be pandering to that agitation.
Oh,
so
my God.
They have no need
so they
to pander.
Are collecting loans around the world to pay various people to try and destroy IPOB. Doesn't it make sense to just set a date for referendum and put it in instead of collecting loans after lones to try and
they are taking loans to destroy IPOB. Why would they take loans to them? They only need to send just a battalion to go and destroy IPOB. What loan?
They've been doing that for how long, and we're still standing strong?
How are you standing strong?
But they had Operation Python Dance, Operation Crocodile Smile.
Hold on, are you not on your knees?
What's this latest one now? How many operations do they need in the East?
Were you not on your knees? Thank you, Alexander. Were you not on your knees just 2 days ago in Aso Rock begging to be released? You are standing strong on your knees. 93-year-old man, your lead.
Who says no? These were not IPOB. These are Ohanese, Igbo.
Look at this
people that do not have any shame. These are not IPOB members. These are not the director of IPOB.
The directorate.
These are Igbo people that go there that have no shame, begging for unity, begging for one Nigeria. They don't speak for us.
Okay. I didn't hear Nnamdi Kanu reject the plea for his release. He's fed up with the tuwo that he's eating every day. He wants to come and eat yellow gari. But look at that.
Yes, we will do whatever it takes to get the message home that we want out of Nigeria. Set a date for referendum. So no matter how long it takes, we are in here for the long run.
But here's the issue, Mazi.
Yeah, but the run is long because you've been on this since the 60s, have you not? And
It
you've not
doesn't matter.
moved. You've not
Nigeria is
moved.
doing all they can, but in the end,
You've
they will
not
get
moved.
tired and let us go.
Right. They've not tired yet. 60 years.
Yes.
Right. So there you are.
Yes, exactly. You know, you think this is going to be easy. It's not going to be easy because Nigeria's got lots of vultures, parasites that they just can't let go of this. But in the end, they will get tired because they've seen that they got a different generation of freedom fighters, people that want to be free. Nigeria is not for anybody.
So Ojukwu did not want to be free?
Of course he wanted to be free, but the outside forces back then was too much. But we have hindsight. This new generation of Biafrans have hindsight. We have hindsight to say, we look back and say, yes, this is where we went wrong. But this time, we're in this for the long run, and we're not going to fail. Everybody's seen that Nigeria is not for anybody.
You see,
the longer you keep in this contraption called Nigeria, the more people will keep dying.
You see,
and suffering.
You see, Martin Biafra has the issue.
15 years, Mr. One Man. 15 years. And there are millions that are in that situation, that predicament. Not even being charged.
There are not millions, no. There may be tens, but maybe even a couple of hundreds, but not millions.
Mr. One Man, you telling me they are not millions? There are people that are picked up on the streets.
There are millions
and not
in detention.
Being charged. Do you know what charge is?
What are you talking about? Charles, are there millions of Biafrans in detention centers?
I'm not saying they are only Igbos or Biafrans. I'm saying that Nigerians that in detention, prisons.
Why must you always do this when you don't do it now? You know I've told you not to do it, so don't do it.
What's that, Mr. Homer? What's that?
When you come here, when you come here and say there are millions in detention, you know that will irritate me.
Okay, so why do you believe there are tens and not millions?
Hold on. Were you not the same guy that came the last time you came, telling us that there were fighter jets dropping bombs on Igbo land? That was what you did the last time, and now this.
God, Mr. One Man, you were talking about the same thing a few days ago in your platform. Mr. One Man, you were talking about the same thing in your platform a few days ago.
Woman. But let me go back to Ajanle Koko.
This guy is
troublemaker. Yeah. Ajanle Koko, please carry on.
So those people deserve to be compensated. I hope that some civil rights organizations will stand up and take up a case against the state for compensation for these guys for the pains and suffering and losses that they suffered during this for the period of 15 years that they were incarcerated. So Showore and some guys did it for one lady in Ondo State or Ekiti, if I'm right. Recently, that was wrongly incarcerated. They got him out. They got her out, and they took up a case against the state. So I wish they can. Showore's media is the only media that always bring this injustice against the people of Nigeria to to our knowledge all the time. No Nigerian media ever bring out this kind of video or this kind of situation, to the world. So I thank God for those guys that God kept them alive while in detention and was with them all through, and they came out safe. A lot of people were not safe. Were not lucky to come out safe, and they died in detention. They are all over the Federation. It's not peculiar to only Igbo land. They were in Yoruba land. They were in Hausa land. They are everywhere, just like that. Police brutality, police, injustice against Nigeria is of the highest order in the world. So this is what they do all the time. So I look up, maybe recently, very soon, we see some civil rights organization standing to fight for this guy, right? So that's what I'm looking up to.
Oh, all right. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. I hope they do get compensated. But let me move you on to this space. Why Yoruba group won't beg Buhari to release Sunday Igboho? So it is Afenifere coming out to make this statement. And they came out to make this statement under pressure from the highly publicized visit of Igbo seniors to Aso Rock to essentially plead for the unconditional release of Nnamdi KANU. So what are you making then of this public statement? Sorry, who's crackling? What are you making then of this public statement by Afenifere?
I commend Afenifere for coming out with that statement. That statement is it's a statement of fact. It's a statement that will give us, particularly people that are agitating for justice, people that are agitating for Yoruba nation, people that are agitating for good governance, that you don't have to beg for your right. What is your right? You don't beg for it. What is injustice? You don't beg for justice. You fight for it. So that statement is quite commendable. And if we really look at the situation of Igboho, why do you have to beg Buhari for? Is he in incarceration? Is it in Buhari's detention? Is he being incarcerated by Nigeria? No. It's in the hand of Republic of Benin. So, and so far, Nigeria have not even requested for his extradition. So what are we begging Nigeria for? What do they want to beg Nigeria for? It was Republic of Benin that took up a case against Igboho and not Nigerian state. And the allegations being put label against him by the Republic of Benin have not been substantiated according to information that we had. They have not substantiated, they couldn't substantiate all the allegations put against him, why they had him in detention over there. And as a matter of fact, the latest report is that the final judge that is hearing his case has advised his lawyer to apply for his release.
It's two separate and distinct stories, isn't it? The KANU story and the Igboho story. Even though you may say their wants are similar, but the trajectory of their storyline is quite separate.
They're quite separate situations. So the Igboho's lawyers have applied for his release, has been advised by the judge. And very soon, we hope, maybe in December, before Christmas, is going to be released to his family, or, to go to Germany or wherever you want to go. As unlike Nigeria, that kept Nnamdi KANU in a solitary confinement, Igboho in the Republic of Benin is allowed to be seen by his family every day, by his wife. Even it's the wife that, brings food for him every day. He doesn't eat from, the food provided by Republic of Benin detention facility. No, they allow the wife to bring food. They will let the wife eat the food from the food before giving it to him to ensure his safety. They treated him good. The only thing that he couldn't have is just that freedom that they deny him, that is not outside, enjoy freedom like us. But when it comes to, his treatment and, giving him his right as he deserves while in detention, they give him everything. They even allow him to make phone call. There are several times that he has made phone calls to people in Nigeria. When his aides were released in Abuja, the 12 aides that were taken to DSS detention, when their release was secured by his lawyer, he called them to congratulate them. That is a nation, that small nation. Look at the way they treat human beings. Unlike Nigeria, when they have to search the KANU lawyer from head, they search to his spine before they allow him to see Nnamdi Kanu, and they deny even the lawyer to come into the court premises at the last time of his court case in the court. They didn't allow the lawyer to come in. They were denied by DSS. These are the injustices. These are, inhuman. How do I say it? They treat human beings as if we are worthless, that we don't deserve to be treated like human beings. These are criminals in charge of power. So, Afenifere coming out to speak, I think they are giving us that energy. They are giving us that they are telling us indirectly that you don't beg for your right. Never beg for your right.
No.
Never
you have to
beg
have
for your
some
right.
arrogance about you. It's better to die on your... I said you have to have some arrogance about you in matters like this. You rather die on your feet rather than live on your knees. That's not to say anybody is living on their knees, because everybody is holding strong. But we cannot be cowed by these people. We cannot...
Yes.
We must
Yes.
never be cowed by these people.
Yes. Don't allow these people to coward you. Just stand up and fight for your right. So it is, Afenifere standing up for the right of the people all the time, and for the right of Yoruba land, for the right of our heritage as a people in Yoruba land. I think we have to commend them. People may say a lot of things about them, or sometimes their political affiliation, but they have been there for Yoruba, for the interest of Yoruba people, and I really commend them for standing up for Igboho as well, and fighting for the interest of Yoruba people all the time. They are on point. They are on point. I salute them.
All right, thank you, Adele Kuko. And finally, on that clip that I played of the Festac Phase 2 buildings that were being brought down, there's a phrase in Yoruba land we call Ota Aje. I don't know if you looked at the link to the story that I posted in the comment section. I'll post it again. But if you see, just stunning, beautiful buildings, mansions, apartments. We are not talking millions, but hundreds of millions, even if not billions. So they are destroying these buildings now, saying that they did not get approval. So approval is one thing. If they did not get approval, lock the building up and impose a fine on them that they will really, cry tears to pay. But don't bring down something that is. Did you see that? It's just shocking.
One man, my position is going to be different here. Look, if people build house or houses where they're not supposed to build it or them, this is the consequence of it. If you violate the town planning, or what do they call it, and put up a legal structure.
But can you not legalize it without those buildings being destroyed is the question. Can they not legalize it and then be punished as well? Some monetary punitive measure rather than just... I was somewhat, because those houses are just so beautiful,
Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, if we look at those beautiful buildings, yes, we can feel bad that they're pulling down such a beautiful building. But the fact remains that when you build your house in against the authorities, approval, the consequences, this is what will happen. They will pull it down. They will pull it down. You see, we as a people, sometimes we are lawless. Sometimes we don't follow the law. Sometimes the people in authority does not follow the law. We as a people too don't follow the law. So corruption sometimes gives room for this kind of situation. The people in government that knows better that place is not designed for housing, is not meant for, to put up structure on, will take money and give them approval in contrary to the lay down town planning. And when that happen, the consequences is very, very grievous. It will come to something like this. It happened in Abuja during even the Obasanjo time.
Yes, that was El Rufai, wasn't it?
Rufai, yes. When Rufai came in, a lot of military officers built houses, many places that they were not supposed to build houses. They violated the town planning structure of Abuja. This guy pulled down the houses. He pulled the houses down. A lot of generals were very mad. They came to Obasanjo. Obasanjo tell them, well, that guy, I believe is doing his job. If you feel that he has violated the rule or violated the law, take him to court. Take the government to court. That is what he told all the generals. So we have to follow the law sometimes. We don't have to violate the law. When you violate the law, there's punishment for violating the law.
And the ethnic spin that the lady that put this out on social media was trying to give it, you heard her. Do you think what do you make of the ethnic spin? Because
what did you say? I didn't hear. I didn't see.
No, she was. I could play it to you, but let me just read to you just the last two paragraphs. It's not really that. Let me just see. Just 1 second. So it says. It says, I am there and I am crying because I have friends who have houses there. Festac Phase 2, Abulelado Estate under Amuwo, Odofin local government area under demolition by the FHA. They started since 5 a.m. See beautiful Igbo people's houses. So she was trying to essentially give an ethnic coloration to it. So they started since 5 a.m. See beautiful Igbo people's houses. So that was what she was essentially trying to say, that that there's an ethnic intonation to it.
Yeah. I'm sure it's not only Igbo that build houses in that area. A lot of Yoruba that build houses there. But if they have violated the law, if that land is not designated to build houses and they went through the back door and through corrupt means, this is what they get. But if the government is taking, if they have not violated the law or they have not done anything wrong to build their houses there, that's a different case entirely. They have to prove their case. They have to take them to court. If the government violated the law, if the government have destroyed their property unlawfully, they have the right to take them to court. So that is the way I look at it. But I know that Federal Housing Authority have done that in so many places. They did it in Dokpemu, they did it everywhere that I know in Lagos State. When people will go and build houses on federal-owned land, and some people will just sell it for them, and federal government will come, Federal Housing Authority will come and pull down the houses. I've seen it several times. It happens. They are federal-owned land, they are federal-owned, places that, they look abandoned. But some people, by their criminality, will acquire that land and will start selling it. Start selling it to people and give out fake CFO, fake everything. And people will be there and they will come and destroy. I've seen it before. So if that's what happened to them, it's unfortunate that that happened and they have to go through these pains. But if they have the record to show that yes, that land is legally acquired, is not federal owned, they have not violated the law to pull up that structure, they have that option to take the government to court. So they should not color it as ethnic, as if they are meant against, it's meant to destroy. A lot of Yoruba will be living there too, and a lot of other tribes will be living there. So.
All right. Thank you, Ajanle Koko. I actually brought that story off the back of what is it called? X0 yesterday. But thank you, Ajanle Koko. So, Ajanle Koko,
I was going to say I want to contribute to what Ajanle Koko just said.
Yeah, carry on. Yeah, go on. Good to see you.
You see, the way I see this thing in Nigeria is this: if we must progress, we have to do the right thing. And what the right thing I'm saying is that it has to be from both the part of the government agency and the part of the citizen. See, if you see something that maybe a particular government have actually said that, okay, this is the right law that applies here, it's better to follow that rather than trying to influence government officials to just find a back door. You see, one thing is, that case of Festac, for example, it hasn't been today. Even a lot of people like Tell Magazine and a lot of people, they publish how they bastardize the master plan of Festac. For example, how many people will realize that Festac has central sewage system, for example? I doubt if those things ever exist today. And at the same time, there are some green area within Festac town, which they've sold already, and they've used influence to do that. Now, but the problem I have now is this. When things like this occur, it shouldn't be the citizen that find their way through the back door that should be punished. Even the government agencies that even gave approval, or the government agency that failed to even
So to even follow up and within that area.
No. Sorry, Ola. The reason why they are bringing down the building is precisely because they said they don't have approval.
Exactly, because to me, it go beyond my imagination that individual will just go to area like Festac town that we know that it was a federal project, very clear, very globally known that this place was a federal project, and someone can just go in the middle of it. It's just like saying someone will go to the middle of somewhere in Ikoyi and start building. It's not going to happen.
For those they get fake approval now.
Exactly. Even for the government not to have even be able to follow up, you are collecting tenement rate or whatever property tax you are collecting there, and the government officials keep getting this and they are saying they are ignorant of those structure. No, I disagree with them. Both the agency and the people should be punished. The people are culpable as well as the government. So it's unfortunate that we do this thing to ourselves in the country. But I think Nigerians, we should learn something generally, that if you have knowledge of a particular project that the government is doing and they've designated that place, if someone is trying to, even if the government himself trying to modify that plan in the future, we should try as much as possible to avoid that. Don't be surprised by the time you hear tomorrow that Magodo master plan has been bastardized. The same time only phase 2 and all those things. Let people even start. Don't try to force yourself within the class that I must stay here by all means, because all this kind of rubbish can even happen, and even when someone has retired. To me, what these people should be fighting for is whether they build that thing illegally or those things. There's no way the government can claim to be innocent of this thing. Some people should stay on that government to compensate these people. Yes, they build illegally. You are putting this thing down. Government there's no way government can say they don't know. But like you said they are beautiful building the other time. It's good they are beautiful building. Why we have plan for city is this? It's not because of today. It could be because of 100 years to come. Now, if someone is building on sewage or maybe waterway, for example, no matter how beautiful that project is, it has to be put down for the benefit of the public. So that's just my contribution there.
All right, thank you, Ola. Let's acknowledge Alexander's super chat. I think he's actually speaking to that space as well. And then we go on from the super chat onto Charlie Boy. Alexander super chats to say, the almighty Eleganza building in Orile Rita Lori Hotel, Surulere, amongst others, were destroyed by Fashola as an illegal structure. So there you are. So this is just, and I hope that closes that chapter now. So thank you for the super chat, Alexander. But I hope that closes that chapter now that Xero opened up yesterday. But I thank you for the super chat. And as we go on to Charlie Boy. So Charlie Boy, to you.
I want to talk about the Lagos one.
Which Lagos one?
The Lagos building. Cause I want to talk about it. You see, my opinion, the Lagos probably know the evil people live in that area. They know that.
So be quiet, Charles. Don't do that.
You have to ask me.
Charlie Boy. Yeah, come on, man. Come on.
Woman,
don't
Charlie, my boy.
Are you black? Remember, are you black?
Look at that.
Say it now, Charlie, my boy.
Look, Charles, listen to what Alexander is saying. He says, you may not know the cultural nuances or the cultural intonation because, of course, you don't vest fully within the Nigerian space, but you know that takes nothing from you. But this Eleganza is one of the most prominent names, especially in Lagos. So this is what Alexander is saying. The almighty Eleganza building in Orile Ritalori Hotel, Surulere, amongst others, were destroyed by Fashola as an illegal structure. So if the building of Eleganza, one of the elites of Yoruba space, if that can be destroyed, an elite Yoruba man, his building destroyed by Fashola government, then that just tells you then that the structures, if it's not in compliance, it will be destroyed. So it has nothing to do with ethnicity.
No. The reason I'm saying this, I'll give an example. There's an Igbo market in Lagos where they sell pot. It was 5 naira. Another places where the oil blast happened in the Igbo area. Why it keep happening in the Igbo area in Lagos? That's how I got. You
Boy,
gotta ask yourself.
all right. No, that's not true. That's not true.
Okay,
That's not
maybe
true.
I'm wrong. I think the 90 people who went to jail and they came back. You see, this is reason why I'm forcing Nigeria. I'm very forcing the government. How can you arrest innocent youths who did nothing, did no problem? They just went to West there and the police came in and grabbed them and put them to jail for 19 years, 15 years, whatever, and they came back alive, and they were innocent. See, that should probably means there probably thousands of people like this in Nigeria who arrested. And it makes me sad is why are they targeting the Southerners? Why are these northern people targeting people from the South? Why are they targeting them? What they did wrong? When the guy like mentally like could be still alive and doing crimes and killing, he will not be arrested. You see, that's what I'm getting. How is that possible? This not needed. How a guy like mentally alive who killed so many people now arrested, but an innocent guy in the market who trying to survive for his family arrested for 15 years and now he's getting from jail. Come on, that's not right.
It is an injustice, there's no excusing that. That is profiling, that is injustice, that is inhumane. It is all of the things that is wrong with everything. It's not right.
I would ask
That
myself,
sort of
how can
15
all this
years,
credit? I would ask myself,
15 of your prime years, that is, no, that is not right. So
yeah, I would ask myself,
I won't
how can all
quibble
these
that with you.
rich politicians don't they can get away with so many stuff, but innocent people going to jail for no reason. When if rich party killing people, but they don't go to jail. You see, that's not fair.
No, they do go to jail though, but that's the thing.
I think what they should just make it fair. They should make fair all one. If you're a politician, you should go to jail. That's the way you should do it. To be fair, you should do that. If you're a politician killing people, like I mentioned that you go to jail fully for all the things he said. I got to go to jail, but they don't go to jail because he doesn't care. He mentioned like when he's happy, like hey, this youth are going to jail. He's happy for mental like happy for them to go to jail. For them, it's more money because they control the system. I'm saying I also people the northern people could not control the police system. They control the police. They control it. They put their own chief there. They do the bidding because they know what they're doing. So if you're a southern, you're in danger because they take you to jail. They don't care.
All right.
And this and there's the reason why I want. There's the reason why Nigerians want. There's the reason. Because they want Nigeria want for them. It's benefit them because they know that they want to start to suffer for them. They're so happy for Nigeria to be one. They want to start.
Charles, you chant this mantra almost with every session, but nobody is following through. You need to have a new thinking. Have a new thinking.
I think the reason people are falling into the people. I think people are falling because those people are not realizing until it's too late.
You see, Charles, let me say this, and I do want you to pay attention. So please do pay attention. There's a lot of injustice in Nigeria. Nobody is going to argue that with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tribal jingoism in Nigeria. Nobody's going to argue that with you. The Fulanis are on a domination agenda. Nobody is going to argue that with you. The eastern part, Igbo land, is marginalized. Nobody is going to argue that with you. But not every narrative in Nigeria, not everything is just totally just wage against the Igbo. It's just a badly run country with wrong agenda, with people.
I didn't say Igbo.
So you don't have to,
no, I didn't say Igbo. Why I said the South. Why I say is that the North want to start to suffer, like the Igbo and Yoruba, they want them to suffer. The reason why the South don't want Igbo and Yoruba to suffer because they know they can control them easily by giving them money, by robbing the youth, attacking them. And that's why I'm so happy Benny country. I'm so happy they let Igboho to go to Nigeria. I'm so happy they keep him there. Because Nigeria will torture that guy. I know Nigeria government will torture Igboho if he go to Nigeria. And that's when the Benin government is being smart.
They won't torture him, and they are not torturing Nnamdi Kanu apart from the psychological trauma of incarceration, because it will be too high profile a prisoner for them to physically torture.
I think the reason why the Benin government letting Igboho to Nigeria because what happened in Kenya. They don't want to have a story that happened in Kenya. They want to have a story. The Benin government. That's what they're trading. They're trading very carefully because they want to have another story for their image. So they're being smart about it. But the Kenyan government, I don't know if the Kenyan government is in Nigeria. Who knows who's lying? Who knows who's lying?
Or who do you think is lying, Charles?
Maybe Kenya is. Maybe Nigeria knows. Nigeria know when Namkan was taken. Maybe it wasn't Kenya. Who knows? Maybe Nigeria accused Kenya of doing that. Maybe Kenya didn't do that. Who knows? But Nigeria, they should figure out how. I think they should tell the public how was Nigeria. How did KANU get arrested and beat to Nigeria? They should tell the public that we could know. But that's strange.
We will know how Nnamdi Kanu was happened in Abuja, because at some point he will have his liberty and he will be able to narrate to us exactly what happened. They cannot kill him and they cannot hold him forever. So at some point he will tell us in his own words exactly what happened.
And they have to stop keeping dodging the case. They have to stop putting the case further. Just do the case once for all. I don't want to delay the case. For them delaying the case, it make them suspicious. That's why the Nigerian government should not delay the case, because it's making them suspicious. They keep delaying the case every time. If you see he did a crime, just do the case once for all. Like if it was in America, do the case fast. America don't delay. They just do once for all. Done. That's it. In Africa, they delay the case on and on for a whole year, delaying the case. What are you delaying the case for? You look more suspicious. I think that's wrong.
It's a political case, though. So most political cases, they don't get decided quickly or by the courts. So they're going to look for a political window to make that decision.
I think that's the reason why the Igbo leaders who've been in Abuja are realizing that I think they're waking up. Because if they don't go there, the people can be the Igbo leaders, people can be accepted them. So I think what Igbo leaders are doing is copying Yoruba. Since Yoruba people are supporting Igboho, they want to do the same thing Yoruba is doing. They just want to copy Yoruba.
No, but the Igbos have always supported Nnamdi Kanu, especially the youths. But the elites, they've never really supported him because he has always attacked them.
Yeah, but I think that's why the elite are waking up, because they realize things are getting worse in Nigeria. So they need to wake up from the sleep and realize people. I think what's going on, the elite from over the country, elite from different part of the country are waking up and realizing, okay, something's happening. How should we fix the insecurity? Because people can be dying every day. People can be robbed in Kaduna Abuja Expressway. People getting robbed. I saw a video just when I go to Abuja Kaduna, he was robbed. The guy was scared for his life.
Oh, is it that one that was robbed of his phone?
Yeah.
By a biker.
Yeah, and that's sad. People can't even drive.
But that happens all over the world, though.
I know, but you see, it's sad. People have to fly. People even anyone from America going to Nigeria to visit a family can't even drive no more. People are scared to drive at night.
All right. But also, Charles, yes, you know the stories you send me. You can mix them up. Don't send me just IPOB stories. You can send me other stories as well. Because you only ever send me IPOB stories. You'll notice that I don't read them out. Yeah. So if you send me, you can send IPOB stories, but mix it up a bit. Yeah.
And I think the reason why the house is so in Lagos, because in Nigeria, people build houses anywhere they want. In Nigeria, they don't have like a system. Let's say this is a river. You can't build a house near a river. They don't have a system in Nigeria. You should have cities here. You can't build a house near a river. You can't have near a flood. They should have it in Nigeria.
But they do have a system. That's why they are demolishing the houses, because they fall foul of regulation.
Yeah, but I think what they should do that. I think what they should have a law to tell anyone before you build a house. Hey, don't build a house near there. You should have a law before people build a house, so people know ahead of time.
Yes. All right. Thank you, Charles. So thank you, Charles. Let's go on from Charles to UK. Hopefully, maybe he's still with us. UK, are you there?
Yeah. How are you doing, one man?
I'm good. Good of you to stay with us, UK. So to that space, then let's start with the Eastern 19. That guy told his neighbor that, look after my shop, I'll be back in an hour. 15 years later, they said, oh, sorry, it was a mistake. His prime years taken away, but not just him, 18 others as well. It just is heart-wrenching, really depressing stuff.
Well, it is very, very pity that people like that will go through that kind of, I mean, I'll call it torture and suffering, because just to show our justice system is nothing, because they are not even serious. So I don't know what to say. It's just for the government to pay them compensation.
You know that compensation will be the battle of the rest of their lives, because that is another 20 years of going back and forth in courts trying to fight for compensation. That's another 20 years, isn't it? It's just, you saw the clip, Abi. Did you see the clip?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, it was. But I was heartened by their spirit. They didn't seem broken, mentally. At least all the ones that spoke, they did not seem. They surrendered to God, but their spirit still seems, high somewhat. So they were not broken mentally. That I noticed.
Yes. But to me, I mean, it's a very difficult stuff, though. It's a very difficult something to say.
Do you want me to come back to you? It looks as though you have a call coming in.
Let me come back,
okay,
please.
Let me come back to you. So let me go from you then to Ola. Ola, are you there?
Yeah.
All right, thank you, Ola. So did you see the clip that I played of the 19 Igbo people that were picked up, locked up for 15 years, then released with charges not being able to be substantiated? Did you see that?
No, I didn't see the clip though, but from what I've listened to, so these guys have just been one of the victims of I don't know, maybe I should just say illegal arrest or the government planned kidnapping that has started back from when the military took over from 31st December 1983. Because I've heard a lot of sad events about this thing, and even some of those high caliber kidnapping was being carried out by the Directorate of the Military Intelligence. And I've once heard someone that was even talking of some kind of underground detention center somewhere around Papa then, that whenever they wanted to frame anybody up, they can just kidnap some people on the street to serve as the witness. So I don't know if these guys are, when they start, when the government embark, or maybe some group of criminals embark on some kind of illegality, there is a way, this thing has a way of escalating. So, and I don't know how these 19 guys were arrested, but it is unfortunate that they are part of the corrupt system, whereby even the police can just come out in the evening and start raiding people, shagging them for wandering or roga or all those things. And before you know, even some family will even be looking for their people, and they won't be able to get them, not knowing that the government has the government agents have kidnapped them. And it takes grace for maybe some people to
I always wonder who feeds them, who feeds these people when they lock them up, at whose expense, who feeds and medical takes care of their needs when they pick these people up, at whose
some of these places too are they are where they keep these people up to, they are like a government agents domain, that where they run their budget for sustaining whatever thing they are doing. And another thing is this, don't forget that all these people that we say, these government agents and all these things, they have a way of getting money illegally, to sustain themselves in whatever dubious or devilish demonic operation they are back upon. So this is one of those things, and Now look at this thing, and this is one of those things that the like of Afenifere and me they fought for initially, and unfortunately, everybody in Nigeria they don't care. We have a system whereby we don't care as long as that evil thing is not directed at us. As far as we are not affected, we don't even care. Little thing that is happening now that may have a very long-term consequence that can become the norms in society. The evils will be happening on the street, but we don't care. We look away as long as we are able to feed, as long as we are able to spend money on the next vanity. We don't really care about how bad or the president a particular thing is. You see this, if we have a functional system, for example, what Afenifere and me and co won that time was that the justice within a jurisdiction or some members of Nigeria Bar Association, they should visit the police station and detention centers and ask for the cases of everyone that is there and ask for the offenses. Those people that the police cannot substantiate, they should be freed immediately. But over time, during the military administration, for example, the people, all these government agencies, they find a legal way of taking people. Just imagine, as someone managed to kidnap when they wanted to kidnap Igboho, for example, along Ibadan Expressway, for example. If they done that thing successfully, there's tendency that maybe perhaps the DSS would have denied that they never touched Igboho. Maybe someone will just find out maybe 10 years later that when like they detain Showore and some other guys, when they then saw some people within those detention center and they started blowing alarms. We have such situation. Maybe that is how someone would have discovered that Igbo was actually kidnapped by the government agents and being detained illegally in one of those centers. So it is unfortunate, honestly. How I wish we have a very functional system that we compensate these people. You've detained someone for 19 years. You've destroyed that person totally. Well, okay, maybe the person is at university level that time that should go back to university, build up career and all those things. 19 years is a very long time.
Well, it's 15, but nevertheless, it's still a long time. I think
15.
Their prime years have been taken. Yeah.
Within 15 years, you can finish first degree, second degree, become PA, you will get your doctorate, or all those stuff. So you can become billionaire, you can even become the next Elon Musk or whatever. But someone, just because of the backwardness, the backward thinking, and just because of lack of focus, and not just because they don't even know that the type of society they are creating will be worse than the jungle, they will just be so happy in destroying people's life. They've destroyed these people's life now, and the only reconciliation that the federal government, the government of Nigeria can do is to compensate these people heavily. Even although there's some kind of compensation that cannot even take the pains away. 15 years for doing nothing. That's so sad. It could have been any Nigeria along the street. So I don't know. It is time we started, even whether you are even representing the government, because I know that because you are DPO today and you are acting on behalf of of your agent, at least there should be something to be done tomorrow that we make specific scapegoat. We should have some kind of scapegoating system that you deal with people brutally. For example, I'm this city now, for example, the mayor of the city cannot command the police chief to go and do some illegality. It will never do that. But in Nigeria now is that you have government agency that all they cater for is the whosoever that's the government, and it is so unfortunate. The thing, I'm grieved to have learned about this, and this is where Nigerians generally we have to be major. We have to be so major in making sure that all these agents of the devil, they never succeed in our society. It's unfortunate, honestly. I really feel for these guys.
All right, thank you. A real tragedy, because the lawyer of the one of the lawyers, as I was just saying to Ajan Lekoko, he just made those points that the youthful years of those guys were taken away. Because of course they were picked up for being members of Mossad, which was the harbinger for IPOB. So this was actually in 2007. This incident. This is not even a Buhari matter. So for them to have been picked up, then that will tell you that they were relatively young men, roundabout in their 20s, no older than early 30s. So if you add 15 years on to, let's say, somebody that is 29, 32, then you see that you've taken the prime years away, and they were male as well. So a real tragedy, as you said. So let me move you on to the next talking point, Ola. So just a brief commentary on this, Ola. Why Yoruba group won't beg Buhari to release Igboho, Afenifere speaking. So the Afenifere group has felt under pressure to come into the public space to take a position because, of course, famously and widely publicized, we heard about how a group of Igbo elders turned up in Aso Rock to get a commitment to Buhari to consider releasing uh, um, to consider releasing Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally. So they felt pressure and they've come out to say that, no, we are not going to do that because it's a different narrative. Igboho has not been charged with anything. He's not in court. There's no verdict against him. And in fact, the courts have actually found against the activities of the Nigerian government in going to his house. So just a brief commentary on that, the Afenifere group taking a different path to the Igbo elders.
You know, it is unfortunate that we have a situation where what we can solve legally, we start saying we should beg someone that is actually violating the law of the land. This is one of the reasons we are where we are. You know, someone, according to what Ajale said the other time, someone is stepping on your rights that are guaranteed by the framework of the Constitution. It's a constitutional matter, for goodness sake. And someone will now be saying you should be begging for your rights. You know, is it going to get to a state that government of the government of a country will never understand that the part of its duty is to guarantee the safety of life and property? Then people will now wake up every day that they be begging whosoever is in government to say, please don't kill me, protect me. That's how ridiculous the situation can be. Why can anybody in his own senses, we even encourage someone to beg government for the rights of someone that you are trampling on? And the way we reason in that country today is that we don't even think that whatever wrong thing we are doing today may even have effect on our children tomorrow. Yoruba will say, the question is this: is that if you think you have self-defense or immunity to a particular system today, your children may not have the same, because if the power equation surpass your children, what the problem you refuse to join hand to solve today can revisit on your children. That is where our leaders, we don't think, why must we be begging? In a serious country, even those people that are asking for begging, they should be making meeting of how to impeach Buhari or whosoever. It may not even be a matter of Buhari alone. It can even be because of some other people. But we should be talking of how to get and put bad government out of power. And people are saying, okay, let us just go and beg our oppressor. And we are powerless. And really, it's not as if we are powerless. It's just because we only think of what we can eat today. And we don't care that the monster that we are building now can even consume us tomorrow. We only think, oh, let us just have control, let us have money, as long as I'm okay. The same monster can rise up and consume those people that are even supporting the monster today. It happened under Abacha, glaring, but we never learn. We forget easily. We have short memory. So it's unfortunate that although the only thing I wasn't even expecting Afenifere to come out that it won't beg. No, that thing should they are beyond that. They shouldn't even be saying this in public.
Well, they were under pressure because you saw the Easterners making moves for their own son, and of course, then the question would then be, why is Afenifere not doing something similar? So they felt they had to publicly address that.
You know, the case of Igboho is different from that case of Nnamdi Kanu. You will see when you look at the case of Igbo, I think he has at least one court pronouncement that has somehow vindicated that guy. That when you want to read that case, it's as simple as say the court judgment is saying this guy is not a criminal. Before the court can award some kind of compensation in payment for Sunday Igboho, is telling you that the court has recognized that this guy has not done anything wrong. Yes, but the case of Nnamdi Kanu, for another thing that even though you kidnap this guy from another country, unfortunate, the Kenya should be ashamed of themselves that you could do this thing, because we understand that even despite the fact that Kanu has a case to answer, he ran for his life because that guy could have easily been killed. This is the same government that made an attempt to kill Showore, on the Showore started shouting that they wanted to kill me. Showore has been in the system enough to know when something was going wrong. So it's a totally different thing entirely. So this case of this thing, you went to someone there, this thing, they keep people there. Up to now, nobody is being held responsible for killing innocent people at the residence of a law-abiding Nigeria according to the law today, because he has never been indicted. You kill people there, and nobody is even asking questions. Nobody is trying anybody's thing, and someone is saying you should go and beg Buhari. Buhari should not be. By now, you should be doing meeting how to impeach. They should be doing meeting if they impeach this guy. How can we push this guy to ICC? This is what Nigeria should be doing instead of saying we should beg. Beg who? Honestly, if I have one kind of jazz, I would have even sent thunder to those people that are even raising that suggestion. Honestly, this is annoying.
All right, thank you, Ola. Ola, let's hear from Tony Africa, who seems to be a new voice to the space. So, Tony, good to have you.
Yeah, man. Can you hear my voice right now?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Good to have you. I'm not sure how much of the
I know I've been following you for a very long time, I'm speaking from Germany, from Germany or whatever you call it,
What do you call it? You don't know what the country you're from. What are you talking about?
Okay, then we call it Deutschland. Okay, but
you live there. You should know what it's called. Look at this.
No. Yeah.
Is that
Deutschland? It's like a Deutschland. Okay, Germany. Germany or whatever you call it. Anyway, I think the best is for us. Like, I personally want to go back to Nigeria like yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why I really appreciate your effort.
Are you a one Nigerian man? Are you?
No, never. I'm a Southern Nigerian man. South Nigeria, like the Sudan situation, because the people of the North are quite different. Not like the way you are try to. I know you are trying your best.
Hello?
You are a peacemaker. Hold on. You are a peacemaker, a woman. You are a peacemaker, okay? And then also you are very full of tolerance. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then so like there's no point of inviting the Northerners to come and join the forum. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't want to be one Nigeria. Because
we won't have a full conversation. Then we'll be talking about them behind their back if they're not here to say.
But you can see that to know that I'll follow you every day. If I miss you, then all you shows how to replay them. Because I'll be following you also before like your introduction is always very powerful. Back in the days. Like 2 years ago, I'll be following you. One man went to, there was no video, but I used to enjoy it. You always going to the fact, bam. And then I'm not surprised because as a Jehovah's Witness man, they are the best set of people I've ever met in my life. Jehovah's Witness.
Because your man as well, or your people are the best. Yes,
No. I want to tell you why they are different from other Christianity. Right now, we are saying that we should go back to our forefather religion. But the Jehovah's Witnesses, they are the best set of people. You can see it also for your talent, you know what I'm saying? Also for my talent, because I was able to, a little bit stint with them, before moving down to Germany, And then when I got, when I was, studying in England, in Scotland, I usually go to to Kent, Canterbury, and then they come to me. They are very nice people, very nice people, and then they never react, because when your mother will say, don't let Jehovah's Witness enter your house, but the way they will approach you, you will love them. You know what I'm saying? So and then in the South Africa problem that time, some of our apartheid Jehovah's Witness were the only people that worship together, whether you are black and white, because other churches, they always segregate their, congregations, like, okay, this is for black church and then this for white church. So that was what made me to fall in love with Jehovah's Witness people, okay? And then they also refused to go to war, to participate in war, even in the time of Hitler in Germany. So they didn't join the army, So then as for the, today, I'm just trying to, as an introduction, I think that this problem of Igbos are very
Sorry,
nice people.
hold on. I think UK wanted to come in. UK, did you want to address Tony?
Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to say, sorry about that. I was replying an email now. It's a job email, so sorry that I was so speaking
that's
slowly.
fine. No, that's fine. I mean, it's generous of you to give your time anyway. But thank you. Let's hear more from Tony. So, Tony, you were saying that you wanted to speak to the
to the Igbo space, to the Igbo space, because I can also say that that I'm an Igbo man, but that Igbo, so they need to embrace us.
Well, so hold on, just hold on right there, because you are confusing me somewhat. You don't know where you are. You are saying, is it Germany or not? And you are saying you can even say you are an Igbo man. What do you mean you can even say?
Because
are you an Igbo man? Do you not know?
No. Then So you better I will tell you where I come from. Yeah. You better call me a Yoruba man, because I'm from Ekpoma, Esa, in Edo State.
All right. Well, you are not an Igbo man.
So hold on, sir. I'm a Yoruba man, Isha, or Bini, or Robo. We are the minority tribes, like the Jebus, the Kales, or whatever you call them, the Igbos in Yoruba. Only that because the politics of the Western region, the Igbo speaking part of the Midwestern state, they decide to cut the state. They decide to cut the state out of the Western Union. Out of the Western region. And that is why we had problem today. In that space, even though we have resources, we are very poor. You know what I'm saying? So if we are remain, if we are remain Yoruba to be taught. Because the better Igbos, they said no, that Yoruba is taking up the place, but we are Yorubas, because we are all from Oduduwa. I don't know me. So then that is where the trouble started from. Because if you look at those states, Isha, Owa, and Afema, you see that they answer Yoruba names. You know what I'm saying? Ayo, Jide, every names, Tunde, Yosami. So, and then if you go to Benin, the same thing. You go to Owa local government, this Owa, this Ora. They are also the same. The short boundary with Sobe. Sobe now, Sobe. But the politics of those days, because when we are looking at how to solve this, or when we are looking for the solution to all this problem we are having today, we have to look at the genesis of this problem. So the problem was caused by this Azikiwe, because he decided to form an alliance with Amadou Bello, who openly said that the Igbo people are not good, but because of his selfish end, then he decided to embrace them instead of to embrace my own prophet, Awolowo. So in my own local government, or in Edo State and the Delta State, we love Awolowo because of his progress, because of his programs, and then all his disciples that he brought out later, like them Bola Ije, them Brutality, like them Adjusting. You know what I'm saying? So that's what we are looking at. That's how we should be looking at how to get progress in our country. But if people decide to to thwart or to put some clog in the progress of the people because of some selfish end, and then later on in life we're having all these problems. You know what I'm saying? So let me tell you, I'm from where Chief Nahoro come from. Attorney Nahoro. You know what I'm saying? That one will tell you who I am. So we are a minority group in a Yoruba. You understand me? So it's just like the Jebus, because I went to school. I also went to take my GC in the Jebuede. You understand me? And then I went to Ibadan Polytechnic. So there's something you can tell me about the Yoruba land. The Yoruba people are very nice people, you know. So like back in the days, we can go to Eleyele. There was Tulia Plastic. There was Niger March. There was this Molete Estate, Industrial Estate. All these are set up by Awolowo up to Benin City, 94. You know 94. This oil palm research. You understand me? And then you have this Okumagba Estate in Warri.
All right. Yeah, taking us on quite a journey.
Yes, I will take. Yeah, I will take some time. I will take some time because it's just it's just an intro, to know who I am. I tell something. So and then now we are having problem. Hold on, sir. Hold on, people. Because today we are having problem because I think we also form an alliance with Sagari. And then also that one bring me to Abiola also. So I have no sympathy for Abiola. I have no sympathy because they took that chance from us for our to develop our country. You know what I'm saying? Yes. Talk to me. Because we are not be having people from that doesn't want to be politically correct.
Hold on. We've had people from your region before. A chap called James.
Yeah. At least today they are not. So they were all talking like they were talking nonsense. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what to say. But I'm just telling them that in order to get progress, we have to look at the genesis of this problem. And then I also want to see. I'm living in Germany here. I'm living in Germany here.
Hold on, Tony.
Yes.
What is the genesis of the problem? You said we have to understand. So just calmly in a minute or so.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I'm sorry because I'm a little bit.
No. I know you're excited to. Yes, I know because you've been following for a while. Now you are in the limelight, so you just.
You know that I was. If I had called in about 2 months ago, I would have been attacking you, one man, because of your tolerance for these Fulani people back in the days. You are still talking about supporting one Nigeria. No, Nigeria will not break out. That will regulate Nigeria if Tinubu come or if this come or if you come or if I come. There's something to serve it. There's something to rescue. There's something to rescue. So there's something to rescue in Nigeria again. So the best is that we should have either southern Nigeria or we go back to the old western, eastern, and the northern region. You understand me? So that we can be able to see how we can be able to move forward. Then the genesis of the problem. Look, excuse me, sir. Take the capital city. I hope you fully listen to me. Before we can have peace in Nigeria, the capital city.
So hold on. Igbo is in a beer parlor shaking Igbo. This is the thing. Igbo, can you put the Igbo down, please?
But the Biafra.
The parlor, I mean the birthday party.
The Biafra. Okay, the Biafra people.
Hold on, Tony.
I get the link already. My friends are having a bad day here in a party in Keja GRA, and I'm just giving them some support. Sorry, I'm not really.
No, I'm only joking.
I'm with you guys, man.
No, it's fine. It's good to see you having a good time. Yeah,
good.
Yeah, it's good to see you. So Tony, you were saying
Oduduwa Way is also my residence in Keja. Sorry, Keja GRA. Oduduwa Way number 75. Okay, so now, as I was saying, so Nigeria cannot be reset again because if you want to reset Nigeria, we want to be the capital back to anywhere in the south. I don't care in the east or whatever. Then we cannot have Nigeria capital city in the north and then the central bank in the north. We cannot have others defense headquarters or defense whatever because when I was growing up in Ibadan, we have the second division. It was very powerful. So that one can be able to defend Lagos, defend Edo State and other places. Now they took it away. You know what I'm saying? And then all those industries, everything is dying down. So there's no way because as a youth with 30 years old, 40 years old, we can work. There was a company called Tulia Plastic. We have also this Oxford University Press, which was turned to University Press later in Eleyele, just almost close to the police station, police college. In Eleyele, we have a little bit study school there. Then we have farming where we can do something.
All right, Tony. Take a moment to catch your breath let's hear from Igbo a little bit. But good to meet you. It's always good.
Is Igbo from Edo State?
Well, yes. Okay, so Igor, so two questions to you now, Igor.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
Tony wants to know if you are from Edo State, and Alexander Akase, he wants to know if you are in a beer parlor, but I think you've
Yes,
already answered that one.
I am from Delta State of Warri.
Okay. That's
Sapele.
Edo. That's Edo.
And
That's Edo.
right now, I'm in a Keja GRA in a Press K hotel with my friends. They just came around from uptown.
Oshari, no wahala. You're my brother now.
I hear you.
You're from Edona, Aziska, you're Edona. They
I'm
just
from
call the state.
Delta, not Edo.
I know.
Delta
No, you
Olobo.
are from Delta State.
All right. Thank you, Tony.
If you are from Delta State, you are from Edo. You are Edo man. I don't mean just collect.
Tony, hold on, everybody. Hold on,
I
everybody.
know, but we are one people, my friend.
Sure. Well, former Bender, but of course.
Igor, hold on. Tony, hold on. So, Tony, thank you. Let's interact with Igor a little bit, and then we'll come to you again. So, just stay with us, but let's interact with Igor a little bit. So, Igor, good to see you. How much of the session have you been following, Igor?
Yeah, I've been in it from the beginning, you know. But just that I'm with friends, so I'm just catching up little.
No, that's fine. I only asked because I wanted to ask you about the Eastern 19 that were locked up for 15 years, accused of treason, that they were Mossad members. So 15 years later, they tell us they are not. But then they arrested these people between, they looked like they will be in the ages of maybe from 28 to 32. So you add 15 onto that, so they've wasted their life. So what are you making then of those 19 Igbo people?
What I understand with those guys that were jailed for those 15 years, I see it as a complete, I describe it as a tribalistic sentence. Because these Igbo guys that were taken to put in wherever they put them in custody, there was no proper investigation with regard to what they did. Everything just happened as a matter of hearsay. And then they were sent to prison. So when they released them and they came out to say they've been in prison for 15 years unlawfully, I believe that the government, I think, that the government should compensate them.
You
don't just keep people in prison for doing nothing.
You know, Igor, you yourself, you know that the prime years of a man is between those ages of mid-20s thereabout to round about your mid-40s thereabout. So those prime years, those key important years in a man's life was just taken away from these guys for no other reason than being Igbo people just going about their business in Igbo land. Just the injustice of that.
Yeah, because of the level of injustices that those people experience. That's the reason why the compensation, if it's supposed to be $1 billion, it should be $1 billion. See, Nigerians just keep people in prison for nothing. We are not in the US, we are in Africa. You understand? When you keep people in prison, almost half of their life is gone. I don't know what the government is doing, but to me, I believe that they need more, what do you call it? Compensation, because all productivity of their lives, wherever, has been taken away for all these many years. So they should be compensated, at least make them be, you know, part of the system. They should give them a sense of belonging. I don't really agree with that kind of judgment that keep them in prison for 15 years.
Igor, you come here all the time to insist that Nigeria is not a failed state. Do you think any single one of these 19 people will agree with you that Nigeria is not a failed state?
The 19 people, they might not agree with me, but a couple of them might agree with me that Nigeria is not a failed state. Why do I say this? The issue that is going on in the country at the moment, you will understand it has to do with nepotism, and it's from the presidency. So Nigeria cannot be a failed state for just 8 years of one man who refused to listen to the people. Let us see if there is a different, you know,
Wama,
kind of
let me
thinking that
interject.
is
Let me
coming
interject
about.
with my brother, please.
No,
Let me
no,
interject.
hold on, Tony.
Yeah.
It's not,
No.
hold on, Tony.
Okay. Regarding the space state status,
No,
please.
can you hold on, please?
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Ego, it's nothing to do with the 8 years of Buhari. These people were locked up in 2007. So that would have been either Letali Obasanjo or Eli Yar'Adua, Goodluck Jonathan. So that then tells you that the systemic problem that we have within the Nigerian state, it cuts deep, and it goes long. You know, so they've been brutalizing the East for forever. And this,
That
because
is true.
what happened to those 19 people
That
15
is
years? Hold on, Igbo.
good.
What
Good.
happened to those 19 people 15 years ago? It's still happening this week to another 19 people that they are picking up and say they are IPOB because they are young and Igbo. So nothing has changed. Failed state.
To me, the time is not really a factor. The time is not really a factor. But the things that will change is what matters. Because if you look at Nigerian government from time, let me be very sincere. Whether a Yoruba man, Delta man, Hausa, wherever, these people has not served the people for once. So the time should not be the factor, but we must look at what you understand. We must look at the realities. What are the realities on ground? Is what we will push forward. You understand? I don't agree with any whatever constitution or keep a period of 15 months, 15 years. It's not acceptable. Innocent people for that matter.
What are you vesting hope on in the Nigerian space? What is giving you confidence of a brighter future? What are you vesting hope on?
Yes. What is giving me confidence of a brighter future is that the leaders that are leading us, they are of age. If we can get rid of these people, there will be a brighter future for the entire Nigeria. That's the possible truth. That's what I believe.
Abubakar Malami is in his mid-50s thereabouts.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Abubakar Malami is in his mid-50s. Oh, yes. These old people, they connive with the Buhari regime in what we are facing today.
No, hold on. What I'm saying to you is
that we are passing through today, all these things are connected to the Buhari regime. So there is need for us to understand that we have to, look for a way out of this particular regime. See, we have to look for a way forward to get out of this regime. There is nothing we can do in this 1 year or wherever to go to change the system. What we should focus on is to get rid of this leadership and concentrate on the 1023. I will go about it. This is my own position. If you say that the country today, if I want to tell you that the problem we are having in this country is Nigeria, no, Nigerians are not major the problem. The major problem of our country are those living abroad. Because why?
Look at that. You waited for Ajale Koko to leave. Don't worry. Okay, we'll be back soon.
I will be back. Let me come now.
Okay, go on.
Okay, now. The reason why I said that the problem, are you saying Nigeria is okay today? No, it's not okay. The reason why I said the problem is of those that are in abroad, they are in the internet, they are giving us all sort of story, giving us agility, making us to go forward and wherever. Good. Are they on ground to give their votes? Are they on ground to direct us where we should go? No. They're on the internet talking. So these things also at a particular stage in life is distracting the Nigerian people. It's distracting them. We should speak in one mind. Those abroad must understand that the people back home here are their people. So whatever decision they are making here, they should join them. When we say we want to live in a country where we have comfort and our country is destroying, and we all are living where, if I go to where they have comfort, we all live to where they have comfort, Nigeria will be a desert. We don't have access to go to wherever they
go. Stop blackmailing people in diaspora. Stop blackmailing. See, I don't agree with you. That's not the point.
My friend, I live in diaspora. As I speak to you, my friend is here. He came from Dublin. His family is in Dublin. What are you talking about? You think
give me a few seconds. Give me a few seconds. I keep telling you about the middle class in Nigeria that on election day they will not vote. It is the like of MC Oluomo that will mobilize. So are you saying bankers, telecommunication workers, oil and gas workers that will not vote on election days, are you saying they are not part of the problem? So those people are brought alone? Come on, let's talk this blackmail.
So there you are, Igbo. Why are you always bashing people? I think it's frozen. All right. Thank you, Igbo. I think the gremlins have gotten you. So thank you, Igbo. Let's go from Igbo to Thomas then, as we wait for Igbo to sort out his system. So Thomas, are you there? Okay, I don't think we have Thomas either. So let's go then from Thomas to UK.
Yes.
All right. So good to have you, Thomas. I don't know how much of the session you have been following, but Yoruba, why Yoruba groups won't beg Buhari to release Sunday Igboho? So the Afenifere group felt under pressure to respond to the Igbo elders going to Aso Rock to discuss the possible unconditional release of Nnamdi Kanu. So the Yorubas are saying that the story is different and there is no justifiable reason to beg anyone for Igboho, especially that not only has Igboho not done anything, but there's also a court judgment that has declared what was done to him illegal. So what are you making then of the Afenifere stand?
Hello?
Say, that's to you, Thomas. Did you hear any of that? Are you
Yes,
there?
I heard you.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
Yeah, so
Yes,
so if you heard me, then let's hear your thoughts.
The Nnamdi Kanu is different from Igboho. Let's just take that. And to Afenifere, Nigerian hasn't leveled any allegation against Igboho. So they can't really say Igboho doesn't have any case with Nigerian government because they haven't taken him to court. So we can't really say we don't have any case against him because he is not here. The decline wanted. Where if it is in Nigeria, now we will know his charges because they haven't taken charges against him.
So, sorry, we're struggling to hear you somewhat.
They are saying that they are not going to beg. But I know if Igboho were being in prison or being in Nigeria, I know they will be begging now. They are different. Their case are different. His case is different from Nnamdi Kanu, but because they are fighting for the same thing. They are fighting for secession. Nnamdi Kanu is fighting for self-determination. He is fighting for self-determination. So, Igboho and the court, that is when we will know his charges. But for them saying Igboho doesn't have any charges, I hope they are making mistakes saying that. Because we haven't caught him. If they caught him, take him to court, we will know his charges. Nigerian government can not just go to his house. Even if they go there, it's not right, but we can't say that he doesn't have charges to answer with Nigerian government. So that is my take on that.
All right, thank you. Did you see the clip we played about the Igbo 19?
Go on, woman. Yes.
I'm not sure that this. Anyway, let's try.
I saw it earlier.
Yeah. So your response to that, yeah. Thomas. All right, thank you. So, yeah, there's such a delay, and the line is so grainy that the conversation is not really as it should be. But if you heard the question, then just give us your thoughts. Yeah.
Can't you hear me?
Well, that's better now, but we were struggling
Hello?
to hear you before. We can hear you now, but we were struggling to hear you
Oh, yes.
before.
Yes. Oh, yes. Yeah, that's all right. Yeah, I saw the clip even before you play it. I saw it yesterday or day before yesterday. It's woman. It's crazy. It's crazy. So these people lost 15 years of their life when they're supposed to be productive. We will. I know some of them will be married person. Some of them may be in their 20s or 30s. It's just Nigeria is a failed state. Every time I normally say to myself, what is really delaying justice in that country? We see other country, they take a criminal to court within 2 weeks, they determine his fate, and the case is done. I don't know why we can't do that in that country. Make a 1 month court case for someone. It should come back to back. Maybe if they can't do every day like they normally do in the US, it can be even 2 days or 3 days. Let them make their case before a judge and let them settle this cause once and for all. These people now, they spent almost 15 years of their life in prison. And I know Nigeria, they are not going to compensate them. They should be compensated in a huge amount of money so that to make these people to start their life afresh. It's very unfortunate. As you rightly said, the same allegation they arrest some IPOB for, they are still doing it now. This same allegation they arrest this 19 for, they are still doing it now. So what is the headway? That means anybody they have been arrested now as well, maybe they are innocent as well. We never can say. It's very unfortunate, one man. It's very unfortunate. I hope I saw those people. They were very happy. They were jumping. One of them said he went to his shop. They pick him in his own shop. Why will you pick somebody in his shop and you said he's IPOB member and he's a criminal? Somebody's selling.
You know, they could have easily given those people death sentences and they just killed them off, and that would have been that. You know, just all these countless people they've just killed. Then they'll say they are IPOB, they are ESN, and that's that.
Do you remember one senator in Abuja that went to a shopping mall and somebody, a gate man or security of that shopping mall said, Oga, don't park there.
No, yeah, I remember, and they was slapping him, and they called him
He was
IPOB.
slapping him, and he was calling him IPOB.
Yeah,
this man doesn't have gun. He's working in his own job as a security man. Then he slapped him, and you can see, and the soldiers are there, and this man is insulting a man, calling him IPOB. I know it's because of intervention of those people in that shopping mall. They could have arrested this man and tag him as IPOB, and he may be in jail as we are talking now. So all this IPOB, proscribed IPOB, any Igbo people they saw now is IPOB. They should compensate them in huge. I hope their lawyer will sue Nigerian government for damages. I hope they should do that. They should do that.
That lawsuit, of course, it will take forever. But to the space of the houses being demolished in a Festac for reasons of non-compliance with regulation, do you consider that a tragedy, or is that just the rules being enforced?
We can say it's a tragedy because our government is not giving us something. They are not productive. They are not doing the right thing. And the few citizens that can use their own money to do some things, they are still demolishing it. Why can't they give them fine?
they can give them fine. They can pay fine. If they don't meet regulation, I don't know what they mean by regulation. Maybe the house is substantial material. I don't think
No,
that
no,
is what.
they said they did not have approval. So Adanle Koko was suggesting that they may well have been building on spaces that violated town planning. You know,
I heard that. Yes, yes.
yeah. So
I heard that Jale Koko that said that the other time. It's very unfortunate. And I'm still saying this. One man. Yoruba, we said Ori Bibe Kolo Ori Fifo for non-Yoruba speaker. That means if you have headache, it's not cutting of head that will be the solution. This is unfortunate. That means millions of naira has lost. Why can't they do something?
Tens, if not hundreds, even of millions of
yes,
naira.
100 millions of naira. And this individual, they are striving to make ends meet. And this building, it may be a company, it may be house, it will be it could be a job opportunity for someone else. But now they demolish it. I saw one time ago, they said somebody used a house for kidnapping and the government ordered them to go and demolish the house. That doesn't make sense to me. Somebody used house for a kidnapping. It doesn't mean you should demolish the house.
You know, they do that a lot. You hear that some criminals were caught in a hotel and then they'll say, especially in a door and places, and then they'll say, go and demolish the hotel. You know, they'll say something happened and then you say, go and demolish the. I don't get it.
It doesn't make sense, one man. Somebody used a house for a kidnapping. Even that person is not the owner of the house. Even the owner may not know that someone is using his house for kidnapping. But you order people to go and demolish the house. The house is not the problem of the kidnapping. The house doesn't know that they kidnap somebody in the house. The house is just a building. It's just an object. You already arrested somebody that kidnapped. So why do you need to demolish the house again? It doesn't make sense. In a reasonable sense, in somebody that is reasonable, in somebody that has brain. That is why I cite that example of the parable of cutting of head is not the solution for headache. They shouldn't demolish it. They should find them, or they should, at least maybe they did not pay some money to get some permit. They should find them like double or triple. That could be the solution. It's not that wasting money will be the solution. One time in Ibadan, in Challenge, Ajumobi, the former governor of Oyo State, he demolished the house of
Ayefele, yes.
I know the place
disabled
because
guy,
I live in Ibadan. I know this place. I know Ayefele's house and his company. He demolished it, and later on, Ayefele begged him. He still used the same state money, taxpayers' money, to rebuild the house. So why do you demolish it in the first place? Why don't you tell him to do the right thing or give him a fine?
You know when he did and it's not the only one. El Rufai also did it in Kaduna State. You know, but when he demolished Ayefele's, it was his radio station then. It wasn't even a personal home. It was.
I know it's a radio station.
It was an office, and it wasn't just the radio station. It was an office complex that this guy spent all of his earnings to build. So he said that violated some throughway for water or something, some gutter something. So he brought it down and he bulldozed the just damaged it. And then when they went to beg him, he then rebuilt it back. So is he now telling us that that rule that building violated, that he had to demolish it, that rule is no longer valid? It doesn't make that is just a clear case of abuse of power right there.
And bully is abuse of power and bully. And this same person, they will use the taxpayers' money to rebuild back. So why do you destroy in the first place? That's these people abuse of power. That is what they are doing. Somebody kidnap, you destroy, you demolish the house. Is the house the problem? No, it's the person that these people, they want to demolish their house, or maybe they have demolished it, they should give them a big fine. That is my opinion. I don't know. Maybe you agree with me.
No, I do agree broadly, because that's my sentiment too. When I originally came across the story, I thought a heavy fine that they will feel it would have been enough rather than destroy those beautiful buildings. But Adale Koko then came in with that town planning argument that made me also consider that, But but it's just yeah.
It's not now. One man is
Yeah.
not justified. Let's just say the truth. Let's just say the truth.
But then if they are building against regulation, that is not justified too. We talk about impunity in government. Nigerians are impunious people too. They just act at will. Somebody will just go and pee somewhere and defecate somewhere, and they just pee everywhere, and they throw refuse on the. We just live like we just live anyhow in that country. It's just.
One man. That is our life. That is our life.
No, it's not. But that is not a life, though. Not in 2021. We're not savages.
But that is Nigerian life. That is all I'm saying. We know it's not right. Even people doing the wrong thing, sometimes they know what they are doing is not right, but they know nobody will arrest me. Like Yoruba will say, nobody.
Yes, it's impunity now. We talk about impunity. How is that different from what you are saying Ajimobi did? It's just impunity now. People, you see, nobody obeys or observe rules in Nigeria. And we say the government abuses power, but the citizenship itself is abused by the Nigerian person. You act anyhow, you do anything, you have no respect for your environment. Okay, let's take, for instance, malaria as an issue. It should not. That what really causes malaria in Nigeria is all of these people that they throw all of these things in gutters. Then they block the passage of water, which then turns it into like a cesspool for mosquitoes and all sorts, which then vests itself in all of this. The way we live sometimes itself is just, they call it a zoo. It is a zoo.
One man, you are right. Somebody told me here, he said, I'm going back to Nigeria to go and live in Nigeria. I said, why? I said, yes. Only he said, here you can't cut corners, but Nigeria, there is nothing money cannot do. I said, but is that the right thing to do? No. I said, you are among the problem of this same country. He said, here, you have to go to the normal procedure. You can't cut corners. But that is the right thing to do. You don't have to cut corners to do something. But Nigeria, you can cut corners. You can manipulate. You can bribe your way out.
Can I interject?
You can interject, my brother.
You see, one thing there is, I say this, even if you give people a chance, if you give people in the Western world chance, they will do some, if not almost the same thing that you see us doing in Nigeria. That is
even worse than what we see.
Exactly, just because they have the check and balance, because they have the government that is breathing down on their neck to do things. Even as you speak now, you see people where they are filing tax, when they are filing the tax return, you see how people cut corners. You will even see some people doing unofficial job that they will not come out and tell the government that we are doing all these things. So it's
you are
showing
right.
us that
they work like cash. They work cash so that they will not pay tax.
The government is not putting the right structure in place. If you don't have responsible people in those agencies, and if you don't have responsible leadership managing all those agencies, those guys, the guys in the Western part, will be like us. Human being, naturally, we don't want to obey the rules. But that is where leadership comes into place. The leadership,
we are criminal indirectly.
Exactly. Leadership is to guide us, and that's where we are failing. Yeah, we the citizens of Nigeria, we are culpable as well as the government. But the duty of the government, we're supposed to be higher. We're supposed to be like a check and balance, should be what to control us. But unfortunately, we are filling these positions with irresponsible people. Those people that cannot even manage themselves, talk less of their family. We are asking them to be managing our society. That's what we have cascaded to the level we are today. So to me personally, end of day, we still blame the government, let's say at least 67 to 70%, where we can blame the citizen maybe like 30% of it. Because if the leadership have guided us over time, we will have some kind of plan control that even when we want to even do bad things, we'll be afraid that someone may be looking at us. But since the government are the one leading the way to this illegality, it gives the thing free day. That's why we clap for IPOB for even bringing most of this thing down to us in Nigeria today. So thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you, my brother. That is where you rightly said, that is where the law has come to play. I said here too, people in Western world, people tends to be criminal as well, but they know there is law that guides everything. If you last like 2 months ago, my wife's speed is 100 kilometers per hour. His speed 105. The next 2 weeks later, they send fine of almost $250. I told her, I said, stop speeding. Your car has a limit. You can put it in cruise. But now she knows that if he speed next time, she's going to get fined. Next time, she will abide by the rules and regulations. But if there is nobody to check him or give you fine, he will still do it next time. He will do it next time. He will do it next time. So, and Nigeria has law. The problem is just the implementation of the law. Thank you, woman.
All right. Thank you, Thomas. And thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to seek to start rounding off here. So we'll round off to London, UK, and we go from Tony, who's new to the space. So unless you want to go first, UK, because I see you've already...
Yeah, let me go first.
Oh, okay. Okay, go first. Then we didn't get the full diet of UK today because you have to understand that UK, he listens in between work. So we understand. But UK just give us just some words as we start to round off.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to thank you, one man, for creating this platform. Where we come to, because this platform, that's the thing that even make me, very happy, because the situation of things over there, and with the kind of place we are living, this only platform that make me to feel like I'm a Nigeria, or I'm an Igbo guy, or whatever thing you call it, because of the way we reason. I mean, our reasoning is always unique, we keep talking about, how to solve a problem or the solution to, what is going on, and the way we are voicing it. I mean, thank you for giving us this, to creating this platform. I know, I know it's not easy, because with the time over there, the time difference, wherever place we are, So what we have been saying about Nigeria, I mean, the only thing that can solve the problem, if the corrupt leaders will make up their mind and bring out all the money they have been looting to develop that space called Nigeria. I mean, that's the only thing that can keep us as a Nigeria. Without that, I don't think anything can happen like that, because if you want to keep us as a one Nigeria, everywhere should be developed. People should have something to do, because we only have one life to live now, and the life is too short. So imagine we have all those prosperity. I mean, there's nothing to show for it, and people are suffering. That's to tell you how wicked the rulers are, because they don't even like themselves, and they don't even like the people, and they even hate the country. Because this country, Nigeria, anywhere you go, people doesn't look you with a good eye. I mean, the only way they can trust you is the interaction. Maybe when they see the way you reason, they will say, this is a different Nigeria. But once you tell them Nigeria, that you're in Nigeria, the only thing that comes in their mind is fraud. So I think what I just want to say is that, if that country is not developed and not, if that country didn't develop the level that will put the young youth into their potential, I mean, we are not going anywhere, And again, the justice system, they need to restructure that justice system, because you can't take somebody to court, to prison without investigating. You lock them up for a very long time, and when they come out, you don't even compensate them. So, I mean, that's no. Well, with that, let me just drop my mic here.
All right, Obama style. Thank you.
Yeah.
So UK drops the mic. Thank you,
Yeah,
UK.
I want to say hello to Tony African DPT. Welcome to see you, bro.
All right.
Ola, welcome to see you guys. I say hello to our viewers. Please subscribe and share. God bless everyone.
All right, thank you, UK. So thank you, UK. So from UK we go on to Tony. Tony, are you still there? Well, I think we may well have lost Tony. But good to meet you nevertheless, Tony. So Ola, now to take it on for us. So Ola, just wrap it up for us. So Ola, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you everyone for giving your time and for the opportunity to learn together with you. And we appreciate your presence, because if not for your presence, nobody will be here discussing the way forward. And I believe that we've learned a lot of things, and we can always learn more. That's why I keep encouraging people as much as possible. If you have spare time, please try as much as possible to join us. The forum like this is where we can hear our problem, we can learn more about our problem, so we can try to figure out solutions to our problem. Now, one thing I've been able to realize today is that going back to this victims, the 15 victims of illegal arrest and the irresponsibility of leadership we have in the country. In a country where you have leadership that like empathy, leadership that just focus on what they are going to gain within their caucus and don't care about the betterment of the citizen, this is what kind of thing that you see happen. So what this thing is telling us is this: whenever we want to address our problem, we should throw our bias away and we should focus on what is beneficial to our common goal. So now, if we vote for leadership that is incompetent, what we are going to get is the incompetence. And we will find this kind of criminality going on within the same within the caucus, just for them to sustain themselves. Because someone that lacks quality will never give you quality, will give you bad things. That's exactly what is happening today. That's why we are having insecurity. That is why you can go on the street and someone can just arrest you before you know what is happening. 15 years of your life behind the bar for doing nothing. And it is so unfortunate. So I want to, because I know this thing too, it hasn't happened only here. I've seen a lot of that on Facebook too, that people are saying the Nigerians in diasporas are the problem of Nigeria. Where that kind of notion is coming from, I think we should do away with that type of wrong misinformation right away. Let people know that Nigerians in diaspora, they are only trying to fight for the good life they are enjoying overseas. Imagine when you say the life expectancy in Nigeria is even less than 50 years, and someone living where the life expectancy is like 80 years is telling you that this is the way you do things to sustain yourself, and people in Nigeria are seeing them as bad. No, it's not good enough. So how do we get to this to this level? Is that we, the citizens of that country, we've not been doing what we are supposed to do. Like I keep saying here, MC Oluomo and his client, for example, we mobilize on election day. We carry all those people that are even suffering in Nigeria, push them to vote in bad leadership into power. Then we are middle class, we stay there and we be blowing beautiful grammar and we be trading blames among ourselves. No, we should do away with that. We should show our responsibility, all our knowledge we know. We go and be active within the political space and make it difficult for bad leadership to emerge. Because if this thing is not affecting us today, just because we are able to find our way, what about those people coming behind us tomorrow? We have children that we so much love. If we care for them while we are alive, we should care for them too while we no longer be alive. So we should do everything to make sure that we stop bad leadership at every level. When I say every level, the level extend beyond the political arena, the government agency like the police, like the military. When you have all those branches of bad leadership there, we have bad society. That's exactly what is happening to us today. The product of quota system, whether you are competent or not, is if you are not competent and you have quota system, you are going to have quota system problem. Exactly what we are is happening in Nigeria today. Please let us all be active and speak with one voice to protect ourselves, to sustain ourselves, for us to have better future. Thank you, everyone. We hope to see you next time.
All right, thank you, Ola. So beautifully put by Ola. So not much more to add on to that. So thank you, Ola, for that, and thank you for everybody that has contributed, and especially thank you to Tony, who joins us for the first time. He wasn't quite sure that he was in Germany, but I managed through my Oyo persuasive powers to convince him exactly where he was. So now you know where you are, Tony. Hopefully you join us there. You join us from there even more often. So we'll leave it there. Carry the conversation on with you in the comment section, but here I say peace.